Just one little binger to brighten up your day. Come on, man.
Just one hit, then I gotta go.
You asshole.
Holy cow, you guys. It is an interesting night when you see that pose on the opening of Modern Comic Mayhem. I almost feel like there should be like an open, like what do they call that when it's on the other side of the cover? A wraparound cover, right? Like for James right now, right?
Yeah. I'll line up next week. I'll set up with 2 cameras, one to cover the top half and the bottom half.
I mean, StreamYard has that capabilities now to do 2 cameras. Actually,
excellent 2 cameras for sure.
Yeah.
Well, if Ryan Reynolds actually only does one more Deadpool, I think you're right. I think you are set to take his spot.
Yeah. You seen the bottle of gin with you, right? Maybe start a cell phone company.
I think tonight is going to be just a nice, easy episode. Don't got much to talk about, like that's going on right now. I think it's no, he's not. That's why.
Might give away the damn secret.
Yeah, we're just gonna kind of hang out tonight, make it an easy show. Hopefully, this isn't a longer than 2 hours max. It's these 3.5, 4-hour shows have been absolutely bonkers, and to be honest, it's been an interesting couple weeks lately in the content creation sphere, and we're gonna get into that. I saw some interesting things on Instagram today, and I just want to talk about it because that's what we do. We talk about that shit. Shout out to everybody that's hanging out with us. Shout out to everybody that was chilling today in the Whatnot sale, dude. You guys, I had like a 6-hour Whatnot sale today, dude. It
Crazy.
was fucking
I don't know how you're still going.
It was nuts, dude. It was and you know what? It goes to show you what a difference it really is. Like I in back in the day, 3 hours was like my max, and now I can just like you get used to just being on there, and you forget how long you're on there. So that's very interesting. But anyways, that was fun. So shout out to everybody that was there. Hopefully, we got a bunch of new viewers from that sale. You guys know how it works. We do this every Saturday night live. We got the whole crew that joins us throughout the night. And there's people that they got the link to jump in. We got this huge chat, just got all these people. Anybody that's in that chat, you guys know you could jump in any time. So that's why it's out there. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. I jumped on. Shout out to Journals Comics. I jumped on Journals Comics show last night before the Hot 10, just to jump on and shoot the shit. And it was an interesting show, and kind of that conversation weirdly jumped into Instagram, and it's kind of some of the stuff I want to talk about tonight. And I'm going to drop a link also to a couple of those people on Instagram if they want to come on. I got to drop. I told Thorough I would drop him a link too, so I'm going to drop him a link.
Oh,
but
it was funny. Yeah, Journo even asked me he's like, "Did you like hijack the show like when we were doing the international coverage stuff?" So I was like, "He's like, what happened to Brian?" I was like, like he trusts me enough to like let me like run a show on the channel. So I was like,
you guys did a good job.
Yeah, it was fun. So I had fun doing that intro for that. So
I didn't want to delete it because I was like, oh, that was a pretty fucking good intro there. I like it.
So we can use that for any like auction coverages done over at Heritage.
Well, if you guys didn't see that, go check it out. It is the you guys are live streaming the end of the Foreign Comic Heritage auction, which was a lot of fun to watch and hear from. And you guys had a good time.
It was actually the beginning of it. Like we only got through like a third of the books and stuff like that. and then like I had to jump ship because of long story
You're
short.
on there for too fucking long.
Well, dude, like even when we finished long story short, I was like, let me see like what heritage books, like which books haven't sold yet. I was like, because I know I bid on one later. I was like, did it go through yet? And it actually had gone through, but it was still going. Like it wasn't even to like, I think it had just got to the T's or something like that. And then like Josh was telling me like the next day, I was like, he's like, yeah, that went like early into the morning. I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, that one went really long. That auction went really long.
I want to know if anybody in the chat or anybody that's listening right now won anything? Let us know. Drop what you won in the chat. What'd you win, James?
I would have to look at my phone to tell you, but it was a severely underpriced mid 1950s foreign. And it was like a 6.0 or 6.5 grade from mid 1950s. And I'm sorry, I don't give a shit what it is. Foreign mid 1950s, and I snag it for $60.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Steve, my Bargain Comics, bought a few things. I want to say, hi Nathan. Let me know if you bought some. Yeah, hi Nathan bought some stuff.
Yeah, I saw a lot of shit went for pretty damn cheap. What up, Andy? Comic Man Andy in the house.
I just call him Comic Mandy.
Mandy's right.
That's a good one.
How was what'd you have tonight? You had poker or something tonight?
Yeah, we had the friendly neighborhood poker game across the street. You know, dinner and cards for most of the evening. Usually, I bust out really early, so I'm like, yeah, I'll be here by 10 o'clock, and I actually ran a little long.
Nice. Did you win anything?
Yeah, third place.
Nice.
Is it
nice.
Texas Hold'em?
Yep.
Nice.
You ever play that Omaha?
No, I haven't actually.
That's what I grabbed.
Ooh,
nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks old. Is it Brazilian?
1951. It's $55.
Not fucking bad, dude.
That was with the buyer's premium.
I was about to ask, was that with the buyer's premium?
Yeah, that was with the buyer's premium.
So that means they only sold for like 20 something, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
How did Josh do? I know he's gonna probably
well.
here. He did very well.
Yeah. I don't know if the buyer wants me to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Jack White ended up buying his Paquito.
I started bidding on that. I actually started bidding on that. And I remember him saying that Jack White's rep was interested in the book. And I realized after like 2 bids, I'm like, well, fuck, I ain't winning this damn thing. Like knowing that, I'm not winning it.
Yeah, because he was bidding on it and he won it. And then he also won Josh's Brave and the Bold 28.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
dude, we need to drop a little clip on that. Josh needs to, you know what Josh needs to do? Josh needs to hit up his publicist and say, hey, when he gets those in the mail, take a quick little video of him opening them, or have him take a quick video of him opening them, just like James is doing right now. The same situation, you know, in that sexy side pose, and with the 2 comics right in the front of his junk. No, I mean. I'm just joking, but he should have him take a fucking video of that, right? He should definitely have him take a video of that and him opening them.
Yeah. He said that he was gonna like try to get him to like have a picture at the very least, like of of him winning the books and stuff like that. And I keep on telling him, I was like, you have contact with his, you know, publicist or whatever, like directly, like just like trade books for a guitar or something like that. So like. And then
he guitar picks and sell them on eBay.
Well, I was saying a guitar because, like, you know, like depending on what the price of the book is, right? You know, having that guitar could be potentially worth even more than those comics, like because it was owned by Jack White and played on.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, bro, Tosin's the new Black Panther, bro.
I think
I'm seeing it tomorrow night.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, Aaron.
Nah, I don't care.
Spoiler alert.
Or in the movie they say Tucson. Tucson.
Did they go follow your nose?
Tucson.
Right.
What's that?
Did they say follow your nose?
Huh? Who?
Never mind.
Oh,
the
okay.
cereal.
You talking about Lord of the Rings?
Oh.
Tucson, right?
For those of you that saw it, They say Tucson in the movie, but it sounds a hell of a lot like Tosin.
Yeah.
So get your Tosin books. Get your Tosin books, bro. It's on.
I see all these people in the chat talking about Omaha is hard, and anytime I see Omaha anymore, I just think of Peyton Manning screaming Omaha.
Omaha.
Hey, I got it in, Brian. That Black Panther.
What is that?
It's the Japanese UHD 4K box set of Black Panther with comes with a pop. It comes with a comic.
Wow.
That's pretty sick.
So it's like a Steel series, but on steroids.
Man, it's something else. Hey, speaking of that, and I should have posted on my IG. They have Anchorman the game, and it comes with a little Sex Panther, dude. a little. I'm fucking serious, dude. So if you want one, Brian, I'll hook you up, dude. It's like $9.
I'm in.
I want one.
It's
all
trash.
right. So I'll head to my secret spot. I don't want anybody, like couple people from Corpus watch this.
yeah, your honey hole.
No, but it comes with a little Sex Panther timer as a part of the game piece, dude. Bro, Sex Panther, dude.
So Hood's kind of like a little bit of a superstar right now. If you guys didn't know that,
I am.
You are, bro. You're a little bit of superstar right now, bro. You're kind of famous right now, dude.
Oh, what did I do now?
Yeah,
You're internet famous, dude.
You were in a something pretty interesting, like a pretty famous clip the other day. I have to say, I did see this. This was kind of interesting, and you guys tell me if you guys can hear this. Hopefully, you guys can hear this. So we'll see here. Can you guys hear this?
Of Jose Abreu. That's actually a really good comparison because they're older guys. Brandon Crawford. I would blue. I have a blue. What's a blue, Joe?
To 50.
Oh my God. Here we go, guys. Blue. Okay. It's sideways, and I think it's a Mariner. Please be.
Oh man.
Look at Richie's face.
I knew it.
I'm gonna clip that sound, and we're gonna play that anytime something like really cool happens on the show. You're just gonna hear Richie and Hood do this. Hold on here.
God, it was so random, Brian. Like Richie just shot the link, and so I jumped on, and it was just me and Richie, and I hit up Aaron. Aaron couldn't do it. Ferd jumped on for a little bit, and he jumped off probably like 5 minutes before Dollar pulled that shit, dude. Fucking Ferd, dude.
Isn't he the Mariners fan too?
Absolutely.
It is.
Wow.
I love Richie's face, right? So there's a moment where he knows it right there. You see it? Like he's like, I think it's it. And you could see his face. He's like,
the minute he said sideways, I was like, oh shit.
Like right here, look at Richie in his face. And like there's a second where he's like, is this it? I think this is it. Oh.
That's like a jump shot, Brian, where you're just like, you're
Brian,
face, bro.
Can you?
He was having a bad day, and he goes, man, I'm not getting shit, and he was getting a lot of junk, dude, and then he just fucking he bagged the elephant, bro.
I'm gonna have you cue that up every time we drop a new exclusive.
Yeah, yes, I think you're right, bro.
I'll just
right.
turn it around, and you just cue that up. It's gonna be nuts.
Yeah. Anytime something cool happens from now on the show, it's this.
Oh. The only thing that we needed what do the breakers have? They've got their jorts on, and they've got their wigs and the mullets on, and they've got their tank tops and their Kansas jerseys. If you guys would have been dressed appropriately, it would have been even better.
Do you guys? Hey, you talk about that right now, but Nate, have you been following what's been going on in the breaker world?
No,
Bro, this
I'm like
shit's
where
gonna
James is. I'm
wow.
South Carolina. I'm way behind.
Oh, listen, you guys.
There's some
This
dirty
is gonna
shit, bro.
this is gonna trip you out. This is not good, like at all. This is really bad that this is going on. And basically, what's happening, and we reported on it last week. Shout out again to the boys over at Sports Card Radio, man. Like, I don't know what it is with those guys. Those guys are just they're pulling in the information. They're the right spot where you're getting true info. They don't give a fuck about anything but the truth over there, and like they could care less if you're a big breaker or you're big in the card world. Freaking check this out. So they make fun of Ken Golden, right? And Ken Golden reaches out to them like, you guys are gonna stop this. You're gonna stop. You're not gonna.
That's when you're gonna start doing it even more.
Yeah, so they started doing more, and then it got so bad. So they went on their show and they go, "Listen, Ken Golden, we don't care about you." Ken Golden literally wrote them a message saying, "Hey, maybe there's a way that I could get on your guys' show and that like I could talk about how great your show is and what you've done with your show for the community. Like, how can we fix this situation?" And they're like, "You know what, Ken Golden, we don't give a fuck about you. You know that?
It. We don't need you to buy us off."
Yeah, it was so cool. But anyways, like shout out to those guys because those guys are they're keeping the hobby honest over there, which is great. And that will also tie in a little bit later into something we're gonna bring up a little bit later in the card world. I mean the comic world. But those guys over at Sports Card Radio are keeping the hobby honest, right? And so they put out a thing the other day. If you remember, they're also the guys that broke all the backyard break bullshit and shenanigans. And then pulling all the one-on-ones and the crazy math, like you have to do that. Remember, that was Panini, that product, that all that stuff came out of. Well, it comes, sure enough, Nate, they find out that Panini Basketball Crown Royale, you can look at the hologram on the box, look at the numbers, and if in two columns in that number are certain numbers, you're gonna pull a kaboom out of every one.
Did you see what they recently or?
So,
okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were going to that.
So that happens, right? So then literally like a guy that was talking shit to them, like, you guys are stupid. You're so bad for the hobby. This isn't true. Does his own math and straight up finds out they were telling the truth. And he does his own thing. Check this out.
5901. Jalen Green, Kate RPA, Jalen Green, Kate RPA, Mobley RPA. And that's a nice chunk right there. You want to see that on your box, right?
So you see, he did case, opened up a case, multiple cases, took all the numbers, wrote the numbers down, and found out that in Panini 1-1, it looks like there's a fuck. It's not necessarily random. It's in chunks. You know, big boxes, like it will go 10 boxes. The first 10 numbers of the box aren't great. The second 10, you're gonna pull a big chunk of good cards, as you can see there. Like this chunk of 10 right here, a Jalen Green rookie auto out of 99, a Jalen Green rookie auto out of 49, a Cade RPA, a Jalen Green out of 49, a Cade RPA, a Mobley RPA, a downtown Luka, a downtown, a Barkley, and then the next 10 duds. The next 10 hits. So what if this is again, you guys, is this is telling us that never to break again. If you're breaking with anybody, you are fucking stupid. I don't care if you're going on to Whatnot, and I don't care if you've been breaking with Backyard Breaks since the beginning, and you guys think those guys are super trustworthy, and you've gotten great cards for them. I don't care anymore. Multiple people have proved, especially with Panini product, that you can figure out where the good cards are. And if you think that a breaker out there that has that information is not going to crack at some point, and you know they might be short on bills that month and they don't have as many people breaking with them, and guess what, I got a case sitting over here where I can pull out every major hit and sell it on my own and then save the other boxes.
Brian,
break those.
Well, and the crazy part is 1-1 just came out too.
Yeah,
that's a recent product. I mean, if people don't know about that, it's like a $900 box, and it's 2 cards in there. So you get a base card, and then you get like an auto. But still, like for someone to sit there and crack open like 100 boxes to figure out what the code is, like that's insane. I mean, not only saying, but yeah.
Sorry, James. What were you saying, James?
You're fine. So we had this discussion the other night, right? When you brought this up, I got up from the chair and walked back and checked my checked those 1819s or those 1920s. They've got those same stickers on them.
Yeah, I know.
And I started looking at some of them, and there's about half of the boxes I have end in P. I bet you those are patches. I had one box that ends in RP. I bet that's a rookie patch. I bet you it is. And if they weren't $200 box, you know what? I'll do you a favor when I'm next Saturday. I'll break the one that's an RP and let's see if it's a rookie patch.
Yeah.
I'll break it live. We'll break it.
Well,
and I bet you it's a rookie patch. I bet you it's a rookie patch.
Let's break it right now.
Dude, look, I'm in a freaking Airbnb in Myrtle Beach. If I was home, I would. I'd break it right now.
Dude, call somebody at the house. Tell them to open it up now.
I'll call my two dogs that are there.
I don't trust anybody anymore, man. And I don't see how anybody in the breaker world, like, I see this unless Panini comes out and does something drastic, like saying like, hey, you guys are right. We've been lazy. We haven't been, we need to fix this, and we need to open up our packing facilities to cameras so people can come in and see how it's done and make sure we're on the up and up. Like, unless they do something like that, don't buy any.
Well, somebody at Panini told somebody this is how you find them.
Well, Tops is just as bad too, if you really think about it. Tops, like, because look at Bowman Sterling. Do you remember that one clip of that guy that had the mark on the pack?
Yeah, the silver pack.
Yeah, and then it ended up having a 1 of 1 in there. Like, and those, that's like what, 5 mini boxes, and then there's a pack inside those boxes. But as soon as you open, in a break or something like that, you open up all that stuff. And they're like, oh, that's weird. Why is there a mark on this pack? And then when they opened it, Super Fractor came out.
Yeah.
Man, dude, there's a lot of pussies in the world, isn't there?
Yes.
God damn it, dude. They're fucking up the hobbies, dude.
It's weird, bro.
I get why they could defend what they're doing, right? Like, they could sit there and go, we want to make sure that the cards are distributed in a manner where there's like not God packs, or there's not, that people have their fair shake or chance. But here's the thing. It should be random. And if it's random, some people are going to get fucked. You're going to buy a hobby case and you're not going to get any hits. And some people are going to get cases where they just get God lots. But I would rather that be the case than to know that they specifically know that certain people might get hooked up and certain people are going to get fucked. And the way it looks, right, is you get these breakers that pull $20,000 cards. And if you're telling me that you can look at a box and know, if you know the code, you know what card is in there. And then you've got these big breakers pulling these huge cards. You will never be able to convince me. You will never, ever in a million years be able to convince me that you didn't know that because this person has a YouTube channel or this person is an influencer within that community of cards, that they weren't specifically chosen to get those cards. Well, you'll never convince me of that.
Well, flawless cases, those are all hand packed anyways.
Yeah.
That makes it even worse.
Yeah.
That makes it even worse. Did you guys see and I didn't question it at first, but stupid me. I should have immediately saw it, where Lala pulled that freaking Red Hood pulls out a freaking case of blasters, where Lala pulled that 101 miles that she's been looking for. She just happens to go do a box break on Golden. And, I don't know if she was telling everybody that she wanted to pull this card or what, I would love to know that if anybody knows that, if she's been putting like on her
social.
I really want this card. And she goes on Golden and happens to pull the 101 that, she's been trying to pull forever. You know what I mean? Like,
what are the odds? One in 200 billion, probably, right?
And we shouldn't have
to that Mike Tyson autograph. Like, that was pure random. Like, we just happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then we hit it. Wasn't a 1-on-1, wasn't numbered, anything along those lines. And I think that's where the card industry has just gotten. I think we always knew like there was always something going on in the background a little bit, but it wasn't always just so blatant. But now that you can just see everything, there's a difference between having luck and then just you constantly are pulling kabooms. You're pulling the 1-on-1s. I mean, it's just, and it's probably have like to do with like what I do, but I will always be the proponent that math will tell you everything, that there's always patterns if you can solve them and figure them out. And I have absolutely no doubt whatsoever what you're talking about, Brian. If you have the right methodology, the right analytics, the right people, or someone and who's telling you the information, you can figure out the pattern.
Well, Nate's seen luck firsthand, so that's the only reason why he says that.
Well, yeah, I mean, Brian and Richie, I mean, these guys.
Well, I was talking about like when I was opening Star Wars packs for you.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron gets the hot hand too, man.
Oh, I know. He does it for me. Star Wars cards.
Wow.
These guys should be pissed off too, though. Like if Lalo's putting that out there, right, and this happens, right, then everyone's going to think one sort of way. Like people that are benefiting from this, whether or not, if they know that this is how this is going, then of course they're not going to feel this way. But if you didn't know this is how this is going, and it comes out that this is how it's happening, that people are maybe being favorited with certain boxes and cards, it makes you look a certain way. And these are the people that should be the most pissed about it, because it makes them look like they're complicit in it.
Who wants that product? She pulled the main card, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They weren't complicit, but somebody sat there and went, well, this person obviously wants it and they have the right following. Let's make sure they get it.
Mm-hmm.
They now look like an asshole too. And that's even worse. Right? So,
like, why would you want it? I mean, that would be the only reason I would want to buy a pack, to try and get the miles 1-for-1.
Yeah.
So there's two different versions of it, supposedly. So she pulled one, and then
she pulled the version they made for her, right? Right?
I don't know. I'm still waiting. I still got like 3 to 5 weeks until I get my hit from Upper Deck from that product, because it's from that Spider-Man metal box.
Yeah.
Anything that Ken Golden is attached to, he's a dirty son of a bitch, man. He's got a history like you guys wouldn't believe, man. All he needs is a mask and a gun, because that motherfucker's been robbing people for the last 25 years, man.
But how many card guys could you say that about? And he does the auctions. But
No,
how many fake bidders has that guy had? In the
that motherfucker's the Bronco Billy of ripping people off, man. He's the Jesse James. He's
there are a lot of them in that
the Wyatt Earp. He's the Doc Holliday.
Yeah.
I'm your Huckleberry.
One of the problems too is it's not even just like the big guys, but there's a local shop here. Brian, before Top screwed everything up about getting the silver packs that you would get in the case before they left those out. So the shop that I go to here, and I won't obviously name the name, one of the guys who was running the card section, he was taking those out of the boxes, out of the cases. And he got fired because the owner went on eBay and he tracks the people who work for him and knows that this guy was selling those packs. I mean, the card industry is so corrupt from top to bottom. It's just crazy. It's bad enough the prices are just astronomical where people can't even afford to buy packs. But God almighty, man.
The way it's supposed to be?
Brutal.
Fucking Brian had an auction and Vinny Kumar bought the pack, pulled a Shohei.
Yeah, the Shohei. Yeah.
Right. Brian could have kept it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
I guarantee
very much.
A shitload of people would have kept that card saying, I don't know, I sent it.
Oh no,
that's a man with some high integrity right there.
Very much so.
Well,
yep.
You know what, man? It was 100%. It was like, if I even thought about doing that, I knew my reputation my name would be mud everywhere. Yeah. The second I did that, I couldn't show my face in this industry, in this community at all after that point, right? Second of all, I feel like shit. And here's how karma works, right? So I'd never met Vinny Kumar before that. Vinny Kumar joins the break. It's a 2018 Bowman box, jumbo box. He pays $16 for the spot, right? He pulls a $43,000 Shohei Ohtani rookie out of it. I send it to him. Next thing you know, it's 3 years, maybe almost 4 years later. Me and him are really good friends now. He's one of my really good friends, right? I wouldn't have made that good friend if I fucked him over. And that's important. That's very important, especially, and we're going to get into that, continue here. We're going to jump on over to the comic side. And to continue that, like, it's so important, your reputation, especially behind the scenes. Like, when you get a lot of the people together that are behind the scenes and they're in a backstage and you're talking, there's things that are always said. And when your name is mud, your name will be shit on in conversations, and nobody wants that, right? So
can I say one thing about, to the point you're talking about, Brian, is what you did was the high road, the moral compass, what everyone should do, and I think the people here would do, and the people in the chat. And this is not a shot at Jack, but like when we mentioned about, like, why do you have backyard breakers on Whatnot to break? And he'd mentioned, and he doesn't do the cards, so I don't think this is his world anyway. But he mentioned because of the viewers and the people they bring. Even though, obviously, if you watch them, what they went through with the whole Kaboom thing, that should ruin the reputation. And if you're Whatnot, why would you want to be associated with people like that in the first place? So, to me, like, exactly.
You just give him a triple logo, man, and then give him a Lambo. All is forgiven,
There you go.
We don't talk about the triple logo, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but here's the other thing. Like, those guys, I'll give it to them, man. I love how they throw it back in people's faces sometimes. But let's be honest. Is there a single person on this fucking panel that doesn't already think they're douchebags? Like, I'm not saying, like, if we met them and they were cool, it might change our minds. But I'll be honest, going into it, I already got like a douchebag tinge on it, just because of how I maybe look, and maybe that's wrong for me. Let's be honest. Let's look at it the way it should. Maybe that's wrong for me. And this is kind of one of the things we were having the conversation with Chris, is that with journos, is that, like, there's this thing that's going on where in the social media world, it's very easy to look at a thing a certain way, right? And just based on a small snippet of time, a very, like, 15 seconds to 30 seconds it takes you to read a text, right? And you're instantly judging a book or judging a person in that short snippet of time based on what you think they're saying, because most of the time you're putting emotion and inflection on stuff that shouldn't be there, right? And we're always first to kind of, like, put our shields up and say, this dude's taking a shot at me, right? How many times, like, have you had, like, a good friend call you and be like, dude, they're not taking a shot at you, chill out. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And again, that's important. So I go on journos, and again, this isn't what I'm gonna say here. It's not me taking a shot at anybody. It's just open up conversation. I got my homies here. I want to chat about it. I go on journos. We have this conversation. We're just kind of bringing up this stuff. I know that Journo has kind of had an issue in the past with Thorough. I don't really know, like, what exactly it is. I know that they didn't get they had an issue. There's been some things going on behind the scenes, and I don't know the particulars. You know what I mean? And I'm okay with that, right? I get it. Not everybody gets along. Not everybody feels like they need to be cool with everybody, and I respect that. I just don't want to be that. I want to be cool with everybody if I can, unless this person has really fucked me over. And I get it. Maybe somebody, maybe they something happened behind the scenes, whatever.
I think Journo was talking shit about Thorough. That's why.
Okay, so and here's the thing. It gets to be pretty toxic, behind the scenes, and this goes on, and it's just at some point you got to say, hey, what can be done to change this and that. And I think what I respect about both of them, I respect the shit out of Thorough. I always have. I love how Thorough goes about things. I respect that the way he talks about things, the way he looks at things. It's not my style. It never has been. But I get it. I respect the shit out of Journo. He does amazing content. He puts out great content. He's very consistent at what he does. Same with Thorough. Puts out great content too. But Chris is very consistent with putting out great information, great short hitters. And Journo's very, very emotional too. He feels a way about things too. And I get it. You can't always make people be friends, but you start seeing these things on Instagram and this and that, and you started hearing these terms being thrown about influencer, right? And so sorry, I pulled up the wrong thing. So I see shout out to Decor. We all know Decor. Decor is one of the guys that's just like I call that group kind of like they're like the Young Gunners investigation group, right? You know what I mean? Like I look at it as like, and I don't want them to take any. This isn't me throwing shade at any of those guys, right? Like it's just what it is.
You got one coming now, McClay.
Yeah.
They're the muckrakers of today in comics. Like I don't want to say regulators, but they're coming through and calling out the bullshit.
Yes,
basically.
yes. And it's necessary, right? It's necessary. Just like we have sports card radio, we have people that do this in different social medias, right? There's people that do it on Twitter, there's people that do it on Instagram. And at the same time, I understand where they're coming from. I understand where Decor is coming from. I understand that he feels like this is one of his battles that he is born to fight, right? He's not a comic seller. He doesn't sell comics. He doesn't make money from comics. He doesn't have to sell comics. He just is a comic fan that feels like he's got to stand up for the rest of the comic world against these influencers, right? And you keep throwing out these influencer stuff. And during the conversation with Journo, there was a very interesting point where we kind of talked about that, and it came to my head like one of the things that was said in thing with Journo is a guy said like, I think everybody needs to realize that they are influencers too, right? If you're on social media and you have any type of follower and you're posting on social media, you're influencing people to do something, right? And so, I get it that there's this connotation with the term influencer. There's some kind of weird thing with this term influencer, especially in the comics world, our world, where like it's become this bad term that immediately when you say influencer, you think of Comic Tom or Gem Mint or, like these evil people doing evil things behind the scenes and this type of shit. And it's fucking gotten cheesy to me. And I'm not saying that Decor is cheesy. I'm just saying, in my opinion, that that whole thing's gotten cheesy to me. I'm not putting any shade on Decor. I get it. I get what he does, and I get why he does it. And I'm cool with him. Behind the scenes, we're cool. And so I see this post that he puts up, and I'm just going to read it the best I can. And again, I asked Decor. I said, "Hey, I'll throw you the link." He said, respectfully, no. The weekends are time for my family, and I spend time with my family, and I respect that. So, I also sent out to Thorough. Just in case, I'll drop the link to Thorough every Saturday. So Decor says some influencers have come out saying stupid stuff like always consider the source and the motive, laughing faces, or accusing folks who speak of the truth about partaking in the same greed and manipulation they partake in. Your basic defective bitching. By all means, let's talk about me being a source and my motivation. Show me the source where I sell books, either Whatnot or YouTube or eBay or wherever. You can't, because I don't sell books. My motives are simple. I don't like seeing hardworking people or people in this community be lied to or manipulated for profit. You can sell your books and make a decent profit. You can sell your books. Sorry, I apologize. I lost my place. I looked down at Josh coming in. Where am I?
Josh fucked everything up, man.
Where'd it go, buddy? Where'd it go? You can sell your books and make decent profit, but don't be greedy. Don't be a greedy douchebag about it. And just always say and push people to pay more and more because you want their money. No, that doesn't sit right, and it shouldn't. As a seller, you have a responsibility to know what your cost for an item is and what the absolute max price you should be selling that item for, so you make a fair amount of profit. That number is not whatever anyone is willing to pay for something. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit and blaming buyers, customers for your greed and manipulative selling. That's my motivation, 100%. You have a problem with that statement, or you feel some kind of way, and it's not my responsibility to monitor or tell anyone how to spend their money, then obviously you are a part of the problem and have to start accepting responsibility for error actions and stop deflecting your decisions onto others. And respectfully, brother, this is fucking bullshit, dude. This is fucking so stupid, because what you're doing right here, and I already told them this, you're influencing people with this. And just because you don't think that you're an influencer in quotation marks, like Comic Tom or Nerdy, that's taking people's money away from them, you're doing something just as negative and putting this negative bullshit, this shit stirring into the air. This isn't about stopping people from making a mistake anymore. This just feels like you're stuck in your own iota of what you're doing is so right that you can go on here and, in all honesty, you're influencing people to feel a way about influencers, right? And again, no shade at Decor at all. You know, I can say that something that he said I think is stupid. I don't think he's stupid. And I don't know what to think about this anymore. It gets to a point where it doesn't. I feel like it's politics now. It's becoming politics. It's becoming us versus them type of thing. And you're not even willing. And this came up in the journals thing. You're not even willing to figure out a way to come together anymore. You're not even willing to make the problem better. All you're doing is shit stirring, right?
You know, not only that, Brian, you know, this is why I hate email. And because, especially if you're going to write out a whole soliloquy of like just all of this, you really can't see the person when they're saying it and how they want to convey it, and it just comes off like angry, you know. And like if Decor were to shoot a clip and say what he's got to say, it might come across a little bit better. Does that make sense? Instead of just because words can they're venomous. The way
they can be interpreted
absolutely
differently. Yeah,
absolutely. Look how I just read that. Right. I read it with my inflection of what I think he's trying to say, and to be all honest, it could not even. I could be totally way off and not understanding this. So again, you know, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but there's a better way to do this. Don't get me wrong. And I'm definitely not saying that when there's people out there that are doing stupid shit and shit that definitely feels shitty, you don't call them out on it, right? I mean, like, you definitely call them out on it. If somebody's literally screwing you over personally and you feel away, I have no problem with you saying something about it, right?
But if you're speaking generically, like where it's like in the overall, like seeing an overall market, and
who are you talking about? I don't know who you're talking about.
Yes, because like everyone has their own imagination of like what whoever they're thinking of, right, in this statement. So
isn't that the problem with social media, though? I mean, for me, I guess probably being one of the older guys here, you know, before you ever had this, you know, I remember the rotodial phones, and you know, if you had an issue with someone, you had to actually go talk to them. When you have social media, you can be very brave and say whatever you want because there's no face and you can hide very easily. And it's not just about that. It's like, how many of us are much braver talking to girls through text? Stuff like, you know, we're dating. You would never say that to their face. Like, you can do all kinds of brave things when you're not face to face with someone.
Yes. Yes.
I will say this. You know, there's a lot of people out there that make a lot of money, like reading books to people to help them fall asleep. I'll tell you, McClay, you've got one of the most soothing voices.
I love you too, bro. I love
Bro,
you too.
it just like I wanted to fall asleep like our good man James Hive there,
Oh,
man.
I was falling asleep there.
Like you could see James was crashing, then Aaron started talking, and then James woke up.
And I just feel like you know, I
Yeah,
get it.
I get you, Brian. Yeah.
Sometimes you hear like, oh, riling the pitchforks, and the same person that's always calling out somebody's riling pitchforks. Like, it's like I get it. I'm not standing on my soapbox here, but some of the fucking comments just feel so cheesy. Like, one guy said something very interesting, something along the lines of like,
and then we have a special guest to join us right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead and add him to the stream.
Bring him in. What up, Thorough? How you doing, brother?
Yo, what up, man?
Hey!
What up, everybody? What's poppin', my brother? What's good, man? James, Andy, Josh, what's going on, man? Nate,
what up? What up?
So
Who's this guy,
have you been
man?
listening, Thorough? Have you been hearing this? The beginning of this?
No,
Red
dude.
Hood was
I'm
talking
just
shit
joining
about
because
you.
I was actually just doing a join. Yo, if they talk shit about me, they talk shit about me, dude. I tell this to
His
people all the
name's
time.
Red Hood. He's in Corpus
Yeah.
Christi.
Hey, shut up, man.
I can
I'm
find.
I ain't messing with Thorough. Hell no, man.
I got to meet Thorough in person.
Yeah, man. Yo, yeah. What's going on?
What I'm going off about here and calling out about here is just again, I feel like the whole thing where we're calling people influencers and we're lumping this term into influencer, it's becoming cheesy to me, right? It's becoming cheesy to me because and I'm using Decor's message as that same thing, that this message here has got so much vitriol towards influencers and stuff and I know you made a comment on it. I'll let you comment on it, what you said, that I feel like he's bitching about quote unquote influencers and people, getting on there and saying, buy this book, and oh, this is a super rare book when it's not, or oh, using their social media, oh, come to my con or check out my show or this and that, like, and it's a bad thing where he's basically doing the same exact thing from another angle, right? He's just telling everybody, oh, be mad, be angry, and at some point it just feels so cryptic, dude. It feels so cryptic, and I'm getting tired of it. At some point, just call somebody out for it, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. Go ahead and say what you said, because we kind of talked about this a little bit in the chat, in the messages of the post.
What from what I put on the post? You could put it up there. I'll read it from right there. It's good.
Let's see here.
I'll read what I said. Yeah, what up to everybody in the chat too, man? My bad, yo.
No, you're good. You're good, brother. Let's see here. All right.
Oh,
So
if you want me
basically,
to read that, yeah.
No.
Read that too. I'll read that too.
Yeah. No, this is what I said, you guys. This is what I responded to Decor. Again, me being on my own personal soapbox here. This is what I responded to him. I said, you're influencers also. You influence just as many people as anyone else. Remember that I agree with you 90% of the time, but to act like you're not an influencer is silly. I rock with Thorough 1,000%. Always have, hopefully always will. But he is just as much an influencer as you, Decor, just as much as Journos is, just as much as Comic Tom is. Hell, if you post on social media and have any followers, you're basically an influencer. You're influencing those people when you're making a post, right? And then Thorough, I think, and Decor responded to that. He said that Brian, and I don't know what this means. Brian, there it is again. By all means, show me anytime I've influenced anyone. I don't know what that there it is again means. But I don't understand that part. Again, I'll let him explain that. But he says, by all means, show me anytime I've influenced anyone to buy, like, or follow my post. Again, maybe you haven't ever influenced anybody to buy something, but you've definitely influenced people not to buy something. You've definitely influenced people not to like people or not to trust people. And I'm not saying that that's wrong, but you're influencing people right there to do stuff. And I'll continue with what he says. Tell me anytime that I've influenced anyone to buy, like, or follow my post. I've never asked for that. And 100%, if and when that happens, it's organic, and I am deeply appreciative. The fact that quote unquote influencers or people like yourself try to turn the world around and loop everyone into that bubble because we all have a platform to voice our opinions or state a fact is absolutely ridiculous. I said and say again and say what I say, whether 5 or 5,000 people see it. That's not influence. That's just finding like-minded people. But if it makes actual influencers feel better to try and deflect the label they have earned, and once again blame everyone else rather than taking a good hard look at themselves and fix the things that gave them that label, well, then again, so be it. Add it to all the other labels they give me: hater, troll, jealous. No sweat off my back. My post and me personally has nothing to do with Thorough. I like him and I watch his stuff just as much as I watch yours. But at the end of the day, I am not influenced by either of you. I speak my own mind. Whoever rocks with me, whoever rocks with that, welcome. And if you don't rock with that, you're also welcome. Now, I want to hit something real quick before we get into Thorough here real quick. So he says, let's see here. But if it makes actual influencers feel bad, to try and deflect the label they have earned, and once again blame everyone else rather than trying to take a good hard look at themselves and fix things. Bro, you're not like, shouldn't we all look at ourselves like at some point, right? Because I don't know, but anyways, and I shouldn't do that because he's not here to make a comment. So anyways, I said, come on the show tonight, let's talk about it. I'll bring Thorough on too. To act like you don't influence people is stupid, brother. You influence a ton of people to not buy from whatnot, to not use Key Collector, etc. And then Thorough, you came in and said, and I respect what you say. I'll let you go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, no, I just said, I said that Brian, I was like, respectfully, to Decor, is not an influencer, in my personal opinion. I was like, he provides people with information on those that try and take advantage of those that don't know better and has found like-minded people like himself, which is defined as a community. That's what a community is. When you have people who have, same thoughts, same beliefs, that's what you build off of. If he's done anything at all, he's just built a community versus influencing. And what the hell? And I appreciate the fact that he's real enough to say that he doesn't allow me or you to sway his ways.
Yeah, and I respect that. I respect that he's got his own opinions, right? And that's I'm not talking shit on any of that. I guess what I'm getting at is that sometimes it feels like it's he's fighting exactly what he hates to me. And here's another thing. I'll take offense to this. Like, he calls me an influencer too, right? But then he talks shit about influencers. So am I a bad influencer? Am I a good influencer? If you're an influencer, are you necessarily bad? Because some people think of all of us on this channel as influencers at some point. You know what I mean? Like, what are you saying here?
Dude, I don't even take it like that. I look at it. Influencer has been, taken out of context the same way it's been with the word woke. Like, if everybody knows what woke meant and what it stood for beforehand, it was all about injustices to people of color. That's what the term woke fucking That's originally what it was. Now it's become something where everybody has used the term woke to talk about everything, agendas, period. So that's the problem. So now influencer has been taken out of context in the sense of people are using it to reference people who are influencing others to pretty much do their deeds. That's literally what you're doing. You're taking, you can't sit there ever and say that, the Comic Times, Jen Mintz, and all these dudes are not going out there and influencing these people because they believe in you. You're a leader of something. They're believing in everything that you're putting out there. So when somebody believes in you, they go ahead and freaking, they go ahead and say, oh shit, man, Jen Mint touched this. I want a piece of that.
Or they rock with you, right? Or they create a community around you, or they, you know what I mean? They like your post, they follow your post. But let's be honest, man. Like, we all have people that do that are our friends that do that and believe in us and rock with us, right? And do this. It feels like here's what I want. let's start saying the targets at some point, right? Because I can't figure this shit out half the time. I would rather people just be saying, okay, here's what I like, here's what I don't like. And I know it's tough, and I know a lot of people don't have platforms, but I feel like at some point I'll give you a platform, you know. And I respect, again, none of this is shade at Decor as a person. This is shade at Decor's post today that I just didn't like. It didn't sit well with me. And I want to talk about it. That's all it is. I respect Decor as a person. There's very few people I will say I disrespect as a person, and the only reason I disrespect somebody as a person is because I feel like they have wronged me personally. I've never met Decor in my life. I've never talked with him on the phone. I've talked with him for a short period of time on Drunken Chat one time. He was a cool dude. I respect him. I love what he does. I love 90% of what he puts out. I just feel like at this point it's missing its shot. It's off target.
Yeah, but he has a lot of reasons. It's the same thing. Like, you know, you have complaints about things that go on in the comic community. You know what I'm saying? It's likewise for everybody. Everybody's always gonna have a complaint. A lot of people complaining right now against me, with a lot of people saying that I'm being violent, that I have a pitchfork mentality, that I have all this crap. And again, they don't want to mention me, but it's like, yo, the same thing. I made a T-shirt, boot to neck mentality. Does anybody know what the fuck boot to neck mentality is?
I didn't, to be honest, I didn't know that's what he was talking about. Though.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, here's my thing though, Brian. Like, this is what I'm talking about. So that individual, because he refers to me as an individual, I've already let that individual know I don't like them. I have every right not to like everybody on earth. It is what it is. You see what I'm saying? And if you rock with that person, you rock with them. That's it, plain and simple, bro. I'm never gonna lose my respect for you. You feel me? My whole thing is, what are you getting out of it when you keep starting to say? I literally proved the point when I went to Baltimore Comic-Con, because there was one person specifically that I was looking for, and I wanted to hash out and talk with them man to man, face to face. That's all I was looking for. I didn't even go to freaking Baltimore Comic-Con for shit, period, except for that. And what do people immediately start saying? They go ahead and make a video talking about inciting violence, doing all this crap. Yo, I met Yeezy. Yeah. Easy, what's up, brother? Did not have any hatred, nothing towards this man. Never freaking did anything. Just said what's up to him. We stood there, we talked for a little bit. My daughters were there, freaking trying to get some stuff. So that was that. Then, of course, I bumped into Comic Man Andy. Bumped into him and his wife. Super cordial. I'm not gonna do. That's the thing that I was trying to express to people, was like, yo, if y'all that's so fucking pressed about turning everything into a situation and making everything so grand, I literally went there and proved the point that, as much as people want to talk and as much as people want to have, fucking keyboard warriors out there and they want to do all these things, I said, I want to see if these folks have that same energy when I see them in person.
No, they won't.
And absolutely not a single soul does it. And that's why I told folks, I said, ain't nobody going to put their hands on me. I'm not putting my hands on anybody, because I know the fucking consequences. I know the repercussions from it. Yes. My biggest thing too is that if somebody puts their freaking hands on me, that's it. It's a wrap after that, bro. Like, I'm throwing fucking hands like that. That's it. For people that don't know me, bro. People that don't know me, bro. I box. I try to tell this to people. I have boxed since I was 6 years old. I box. I literally that was my life. I box. So if I punch somebody in the face, I know the damage that I can cause. At that point, it's over, bro. I'm gonna be in fucking prison. I got a lot to lose. I have a wife and 2 kids, so I'm not doing any of that shit. But when I go to say that there's a boot to neck mentality, it means, yo, we're going to be squeezing the fucking truth out of every situation, because there's a lot of bullshit going on. Well, you know it very well, Brian, just as much as I know it, and everybody on this panel. There is a lot of bullshit going on with a lot of the stuff that's going on with comics.
Amen. But again, what I'm getting at is, let's call it out. I don't this cryptic thing. It's hard for me sometimes, man. It makes it very fucking hard for me. Let's call it out. Let's be honest. Like, I get it. You don't, if we're worried about legal stuff and stuff like that, if we're worried about slander and stuff like that, I get that. But there's ways around that. Like, let's not make it so cryptic for everybody, because I feel like I don't know who anybody's talking about anymore, man. I don't
and I'll call out people all day long. The only person that I wanted to see that freaking day was Bolo. I'll go ahead and say it right there. I was looking for Bolo that damn day. He wasn't there. He did not show up. And why did I freaking go ahead and do that? I went ahead and did that because he wrote something to me that was just like I said, when people want to say that we're the only ones talking and we're the ones that are literally putting out the truth about things, and then somebody comes at you and they try to say something completely different, and no way in hell as a man I'm going to sit there and say, yo, you said all of the above. I could even read to you exactly what this man wrote to me. And it was almost seeming like you were trying to threaten me and the rest of me, like they were going to put up a fucking wanted poster at every damn con I go to. And that's what I had a problem with. So when I hear people like yourself, like I know you're a pacifist, bro. Like for me, I'm different.
No.
You know?
I'm no. Check it out, Thorough, bro. Let's fix it right quick. Like I am definitely not a pacifist, bro. I get you. Just like you know, you feel the way you feel. I get it, bro. Trust me. I left Flipside over something slick that somebody said over there because I knew that they would have never said that in my face, and they would have never said that into a person's face because they know if they would have said something like that, they would have got smacked, right? So that's I'm not a pacifist, and I get that. I get that same feeling. I have that same feeling for certain people. I've never been a pacifist. But
so
what
when somebody
is honest, and I don't want to have to figure things out. Like, who are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't know. You're gonna make me guess. You know what I mean? That type of shit. It feels so cryptic. It feels like I don't get that post. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, because all right. So check this out. So this is what Bolo wrote to me. I'm gonna read it for the very first time because I haven't even shared it on my show, and I'm gonna let y'all know exactly how far this goes to and how people want to react and how people want to talk behind the fucking scenes versus when they actually see you on there on something or whatever, then they just want to be a completely different person. So that's why I said I wanted to find one person, and that was that one person right there. So this is from Bolo, because now I don't even know if this dude blocked me on IG or not, but this is the reason why I save shit and I keep receipts. So he said, he's like, I'm done responding to the tags and posts, my dude. Hardly ever tagged him and hardly ever posted anything with his name on it. He's like, I will maintain respect for you as my guys Bueller and Ben C hold you in high regard. But the internet troll stuff is sucker shit. I can't respect it, especially when I've told you that I have an open line of communication with me. Can anybody please tell me if you could get in contact with Bolo ever? Okay.
I have his phone number and he never gets back to me.
Okay. Thank you. So we're gonna continue on here. He says something a person in my role rarely gives. All right, cool. So here's the thing. You can talk to me or just talk about me. He's like, I'm fine either way. Nothing changes in comics because Thorough or Decor said it. He goes, you could be so much better than this, really contribute to the industry. He's like, you have a voice and perspective, and I love hearing you talk comics. But when you talk people and platforms, you come from a place of ignorance and lack of knowledge of the people you speak, and you embarrass yourself by associating with troll pages. So now I'm embarrassing myself for what? For speaking the truth? So here's my thing. And he's like, and worst part is, I don't think you're aware of how you come off since C2E2 by spitting facts. I'm always down to collaborate or help anyone in the community who is trying to make their way in this world. He's like, but I'm really in the comics industry and community, and I have helped countless join me. But if you're only interested in talking shit instead of talking, again, have been speaking nothing but the fucking truth. Everybody has been hearing what I've been talking about. Everybody has seen what the hell I've been talking about. There you go. He went on ahead, and this was a long ass fucking narrative right here. So he said, then you can do. He's like, then you can do that on your own, my G. He's like, I won't lose a bit of sleep over it. I truly empathize with you and feel for you that you're so angry or jealous or whatever your motivation is for being a beacon of negativity. So it goes on. He's like, I hope you understand how sincere the olive branch is, but understand I'm not going anywhere. I'm just getting started, and you're about to burn a bridge that you don't have to. Don't be so self-destructive. That's the shit that he wrote to me. I saved all that crap. I didn't write this. This is straight from Bolo.
He said, "My G."
Yeah. I don't know. I've never sat down, had a drink with him. I've never freaking had dinner with him. I haven't done anything like that. So that's the problems that I have. So you see what I'm saying? When you start putting out receipts, and when you start putting things out there from people what they really say behind the scenes, then people will go ahead and know exactly why the hell I feel the way that I do, why I'm so vocal. Then people will know exactly how Decor feels. It's the same thing like that individual that always likes to refer to me as an individual, consistently likes to go out and start making videos, even sending me long ass freaking paragraphs as to why they're gonna talk about me, and say, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm not gonna refer to you. I'm just gonna make reference to things. Everybody right off the bat in the chat knows. So you're literally inciting this so-called violence yourself. You're starting all this crap. Why? Because you want to have views. You want to you. I heard my man say that himself plenty of times. That's my livelihood. I want to have views. I want to go ahead.
And I understand that. I get that. I get
okay,
that.
cool. But
I
at the
get
same time, why would you go ahead? That very day I went to Baltimore Comic-Con, I literally proved the point and I said, yo, I didn't put my hands on nobody. Ain't nobody fucking touch me. I didn't touch nobody. And I called it how it was. And that's what it is. Plain and simple. Nobody was doing nothing. Nobody.
Yeah.
That
I'll be
was
honest.
the point. In the end, it's all comics, bro. That's all it's about.
Yes.
And nobody's
Yes,
ever gonna
I get
agree with anything. And as much as folks want to have a sit down, when I tell you I don't like you, it means I don't like you, bro. Like, don't fucking
I
come and
get
dap
that.
me up.
I
Don't
get
do
that.
none of that shit.
I get
That's
that.
literally what it is.
I understand that. I get that 100%. I do. I really do. And as a matter of fact, I even said, like, to the point that Thorough is who he is, you know, and I respect him for being who he is, and can't nobody say anything bad about that. Same with Decor. Decor is who he is. I respect him for that. He sent me a message when he said that he was he couldn't come on, and he said, I value my time with my family more than I want to come on a show and talk about you know, why I said what I said, or you know, to that effect, you know, and I respect that. I do respect that. But in all honesty, you know, this is here. This is a lot of this show is comic shop talk. This is the people in the community who I like to rock with, and I'm gonna start this conversation just because it's irking, dude. At some point, let's be honest. Like, at some point, does it feel like there is a way to even just not deal with this shit, or are we're just gonna have to deal with this forever? You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like it's
it's-
something that we're gonna just have to deal with forever. You know
I
what I
think so
mean?
too. I think it's unfortunate, but it is
you
what
know,
it is.
we put ourselves out there. You know, we're on camera. You know, we express our opinions, whether people agree with them or not agree with them, and you know, it's just something we're talking about. But
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm just using that, like, all this in a general sense, right? And you know, either people agree with us, and you know, they'll come like, you know, if we meet them in person or whatever, they're like, oh, I really loved when you were talking about blah blah blah, you know, and you know, it just makes a good conversation. But I mean, like, people that disagree with you are really gonna, like, focus in on that, and then I don't want to say exploded, but like, but just
Well,
like, we're just not agree, and then, like, if it latches on that other people don't agree as well, it's gonna have, like, that negative context to it, right?
Well, let's not forget that we can be the change that we want to see as well.
Yeah.
And in all seriousness. I don't know, I can't speak for a lot of other people, but I can say that since Chicago, this has been an emotionally draining situation that I've had to put a very, very firm wall up in front of me just because of how exhausting it can be. I have lost very close friends, dear friends of mine, that wanted to go one way and do one thing and be a very larger part of whatnot. And I learned really hard after Chicago that situation, after what I saw there and what was opened up to my eyes and how I was asked to respond. I was like, I had a really hard lesson there to learn, and that's a tough pill to swallow that I had to walk away from because of everything, the way that's happening. And I want my friends back, so I can be the change that I want to see and get back onto my channel a little bit more and do things a little bit differently and be excited about what the market's doing, what the community's doing going forward, because this shit's draining. I mean, And not I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I mean for me, there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of time that I want to spend with the community. But some of the stuff we get into, it's just like I don't quite have the social. I don't quite have the batteries that a lot of other people do.
I feel like Andy just hit it on the head. I was actually going to ask, does anyone feel like since Chicago, it feels like it's been more drama and not about like the books? Like, so when like Brian, you and Andy and Ryan and Brian, other Brian, do the podcast. Like, so I run in the morning, listen to that. And like Andy, when you're talking about, and I know I'm going to butcher this, but the show that's come on HBO, is it the Boom title or Dark Horse title that you've been pumping, that you're really excited about seeing?
Last of Us from
Last of Us.
Yeah, Dark Horse and PlayStation, Sony.
Like, that's what I want to hear more of. I don't want to hear more about, acetate covers or incentives. And I feel like it's become more about us versus them and all this kind of shit, and just about exclusive and just drama between. It's just a bunch of nonstop bullshit.
Yeah.
And I feel like part of this is, and not a shot at Jack, but I feel like there's a part of it where, and I want to get into like influencers, and I don't know any of these folks, but I feel like there's almost a part where maybe some of these folks have never been that popular, and now they have a lot of eyes on them, and maybe you get a little incensed in that, and I don't know. It's just,
real quick, you guys remember when Whatnot started? How much fun we were having?
Oh my God, yeah.
Everybody was buying from each other. I bought from Thorough bought from me. I bought from Brian. I bought from Aaron bought from me. And that was a community. When they let these motherfuckers in and they selling trash, you know what I thought? Like, I had to, like, before I got on the platform, I had to show what my eBay rating was. And it made me think, oh, okay, good. It's going to be like, you got to have a good eBay rating to get on this platform and stuff.
You got to have standards.
So it's going to be clean. And I was like, man, I was excited, nobody's going to rip anybody off, and I felt good about that. But then they've got people on, they opened up the floodgates for people with some notorious selling habits that are all over YouTube that rip people off with mystery packs and mystery boxes and stuff like that. And it just destroyed something good, and ever since then, I kind of feel like that's where it's really just gone awry, Right. I mean, like, they let these animals into there, and then it's just spawned like store crappy exclusives and whatever you want to call it, and just on and on and on until people stop buying this bullshit. They will not go away. And they laugh. I bet they fucking laugh. Oh, dude, I sold that for $80. Dude, and I had that in backstock. I thought I was going to lose all my money, but I just put some acetate on it and I fucking sold it. Those guys are stupid, that's how they, and that's what's made the community like the way it is.
I want to jump in really quick and say that things being exhausting and being tiring, I don't target that towards Thorough or anybody's content. It's not the content. It's just the situation since Chicago and losing friends and kind of seeing where people are planting their flags and how things are developing is becoming extremely exhausting. As far as Whatnot goes, it's like 2 years. 2 years I've been selling comics on Whatnot, just about 2 years. And the app still has some of the base issues that it did 2 years ago. Where's all that money going? Where's the infrastructure being developed? Not just developed, but further developed.
It's only 1 year, though.
What's that?
It's only been 1 year.
I'm coming up on 2.
I was 2.
In Baltimore. Baltimore was year 1. Was when Jack was walking around.
Felt like 2 years.
I was
feels like 2 years.
I think I was before Baltimore. I was one of the first people.
Okay.
One of the first groups of people, like year and a half plus is where I'm at right now. And it's like this, all the money coming in, and you're still seeing a lot of new people, and a lot of people coming up, and a lot of people trying it out are still having a lot of the same issues that we found workarounds that we shouldn't have had to find workarounds. And I just feel like a lot of what's being put in the app isn't for the app itself. Is it going to get purchased? Is it going to get sold? What's going to happen going on forward? But I mean,
well, here's the interesting thing to me, and again, listen, you guys, let me tell you why I'm bringing this up first thing in the show, and I'm doing this because, in all honesty, you guys, like, I got to figure out a way, like, moving forward, how for me to deal with this, right? Like, I don't want to talk about this on every show. Like, I feel like every show we have something to talk about like this. So don't worry, you guys. Let me get this out of my system here. We're gonna get back to comics. We're not gonna talk as much about this drama and shit, but I just want to try and get this out of my system because it was on my head. It was my on the tip of my tongue. I wanted to talk to somebody about it. You know what I mean? And just as much as you guys come to shows to get entertainment and to hear from us, like I also use this as a way to figure out shit for me, right? And where, like, this is my hobby too, right? This is what I love. I love comics. I love content creation. I love buying comics. I love selling comics. It feels fucking tiring lately. So basically, I just want to say that. So let me say this. Here's another thing. Every time that we get into drama, it always feels like Whatnot gets brought up, right? And I'm not saying Whatnot is a catalyst. I'm not saying it's not. But the drama could be anything within our community. And at some point talking about that, Whatnot comes up.
Yeah.
Does it feel like, is that just us? Is that just our toxic community? Or is that how everybody feels about Whatnot? Like, are we in an echo chamber? Listen, Journal said some things to me in that conversation that kind of made me go. Just like Thorough says shit to me everywhere I go. I try to take game from everybody, right? Like, I'm gonna try and learn something from it. One of the things that Journals did say is, like, it does feel like an echo chamber, right? Like, at some point it feels like we're all just saying it's becoming so toxic, and at some point that echo chamber always seems to go back to Whatnot in some situation, whether it's the people that are running Whatnot Comics, whether it's the people who are the big sellers on Whatnot Comics, whether it's social media talk around those people. Man, it feels fucking like it's a catalyst. It feels like it's a electricity pole, one of those fucking static electricity things you put your hands on and it just goes like, what is
Brian, we were talking about cards being dirty. It feels like Whatnot is kind of the leader of that because, we talk about where are all these Whatnot exclusives? How does that same exclusive kind of keep coming up? They're not numbered. How many are there? And how come this person keeps having so many? I mean, it's just, to that part, I think there is a part that gravitates to Whatnot in that respect.
Yeah, but it's not even just comics, though. Just, you could type fucking Whatnot on YouTube, and you will see the complaint from people in sneakers. You will see the complaint from people who are pickers and freaking yard sales. You'll see people who are in freaking selling vintage clothing. And you know what it all comes down to? They all have this similar freaking build that it does on the comic book end of thing, where they decided to start building cliques like that Whatnot Wednesday shit, highlighting certain sellers and consistently doing it, highlighting people on Monday, Tuesday, every other fucking day. And then what does it do? People got mad at me because I said that every little seller on Whatnot is a sacrificial lamb. Why? Because every time Whatnot makes a commercial and somebody says, "Oh my God, guys, I got a hell of a steal," who are they getting it from? They're getting it from the people that got 5 or 10 people in their rooms, so then they can come out. Like, I had one person who I ended up actually meeting was a person that was selling a fucking First Gambit, crispy 9.6 copy. That shit went for $97. That dude, you could hear his voice. He sounded like he wanted to fucking cry. And
that's why I don't believe those numbers that they put in the viewing, because like when Jack was trying to explain that part about how eBay, if they come in, they're part of the room. Well,
that's what was.
What's your methodology? How do you calculate it? So do some people, do you kind of keep the count up to make sure that there's interest going in certain people that you're highlighting versus other folks? So yeah, I'm not buying it.
Are you enjoying that copy of X-Men 266 though? No, I'm joking.
Who, me? Oh, no.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Boy, Nah, hold on. So y'all know what
He
book
bought
I
the
ended
annual.
up getting?
He bought,
No.
he bought
I'll
the
tell
real
y'all.
first appearance.
I'll tell y'all the book that actually came up, and I actually told the seller to cancel my buy. They actually had the fucking 3 claws Wolverine first, Dakin, however people want to
Yep.
fucking call him.
Yeah.
Had the 3 claws. I got
Yeah,
that shit
totally.
for I got that shit for $78, and I told that
That's
dude to
sick.
go ahead and keep it. I told him to keep it because that book is fucking worth way more money than that.
Yeah.
But then that's the thing. This is when I tell people I'm built different. Why? Because I am. Same thing when I was on Whatnot. When I started seeing people overbidding, what was I doing? I was actually including extra books to make up for the overbids. You don't hear Comic Time when I talk to Nerdy Girl, not putting her on blast or nothing, but when I talked to her and gave her the interview, I gave her kudos, I gave her props, and I said thank you for coming on here because you had balls enough to actually come and talk. Nobody else wants to do it. People will pretend like they want to have these conversations and want to have these talks, but nobody does because people are afraid. They know exactly what they're doing. So in order to keep getting away with the shit that they're doing, they'd rather not freaking act like that shit exists. So every freaking time when Nerdy Girl said that stuff, what was she saying? And I told this to people. She said she is a retailer. She's a retailer. She's not she considers herself an ambassador. She doesn't consider herself an influencer, none of the above. She literally said, I am a retailer. I'm just here to sell. So when she's there and people are bidding stuff up, why? Because they believe in her product. They believe in her. So when people go and bid up shit, for example, a jacket that everybody was fucking talking about, everybody was talking about that motherfucking Wolverine jacket that you could find for $25 on eBay all day long.
Walmart.
And you
My
ended
friends
up
are
selling
bidding
it.
it up.
Yeah, and you ended up selling it for $197 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
That goes to show you. That goes to show you, what do they really care? Are they part of this community? This is why I talk about there is no fucking community, folks. As
Right,
much as
because
people don't want to say that.
But thorough too.
if
Do you
that
think,
would
like,
have-
but you could have been like me, like you and I and Joe being friends. Andy, hey, bid me up. I'm texting you right now. Bid me up. Bid me up.
And that too.
This thing's. I mean, that's how it is.
What's the
Anybody thinks it
solution?
doesn't happen, it's full of shit.
What's the solution? Do you say, all right, this is going for $97. I know you guys want to pay $250, but I cut it off at 97. Is that I don't. What's the solution to that situation?
There is no solution
Remark it.
because it's a people problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, because like any one of us, if we were playing around and we were just selling a jacket, like we wouldn't let somebody pay $197 for that. So like, dude, I'm not going to let you pay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if they overpaid for something, we're stacking books. Hey man, I appreciate that, but I'm going to throw this in extra. I've seen all of us do that.
So that's
Exactly.
that's the solution. Then is you're tossing in more books to compensate for the extra money that was put in there.
That's pretty much a good way of doing it.
I mean, that's totally one way of doing it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Like
I
if
mean,
Thorough was selling his Yankees hat, he would throw in a Mets hat because it's worth a hell of a lot more than the Yankees.
So okay, so let me throw this out there because this is where I feel a way about it, right? Like let's be honest here. We all
Bring
have
some
things
value
where we
down.
feel a way about it, where we come out and we say, hey, like I felt like this was a shot at me, even though it probably wasn't, right? But I take offense sometimes to it when I almost feel like I don't want to talk about selling on Whatnot because you're instantly going to get shots at you.
Yeah.
Right. And not every person that sells on Whatnot is a fucking asshole. Not every person that sells on Whatnot. And I'm not saying that people are saying that, but when it gets to a point that sometimes you don't even want to like talk about it because you're going to get shots at you, like, oh, you're just a fucking greedy Whatnot seller. It's also a thing where I'm like, no, man, like, whoever says that the app isn't a great app and it isn't a great thing to be able to do, you got a bill that came up, and you've got some extra things sitting around the house, you got the ability to sell it and this and that, people make money off it. Like I don't want to ever, I don't want to have that feeling, right? I don't want to have that that happen. That sucks. Just like it sucks when people are getting dogpiled on social media, whether it's justified for or not. I kind of like take that feeling of how I feel sometimes when I'm like, man, am I gonna get the slings and arrows like fucking instantly when I bring up my Whatnot sale coming up, even though most people, I would say the majority of people that buy from me or watch my sales will say I'm nowhere near what people look at as the bad.
Hell no, you got some heat on your shows, Brian. I'm always watching your shit, dude.
But that's
Like-
what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like when it's gotten to that point, it feels like I shouldn't feel that way. I shouldn't feel that way. Do any of you guys
Absolutely
feel that
not.
way?
You have great shows, Brian. I always tune in. Like,
But then that's my thing. Now here you go back to
Scrolling.
the so-called influencers. How like everybody likes to fucking label everybody. They're the ones that fuck it up for everyone. They're the ones that fuck it up for everybody because then it makes you look bad. It makes Yeezy look bad. It makes everybody here look bad if you were selling. I stopped selling or whatnot for that reason. I knew exactly the route that this shit started to go. And then guess what I did? I put my fucking account on vacation mode. And then I just stopped. Because now I started seeing what they were doing. They started putting everybody, starting saying, hey, we need the influencers. You want to know why the word influencer became a bad word? It was because of whatnot. Who consistently keeps putting it up on their shit when they post stuff? They say, looking for all influencers. That's them, whatnot. And they created that they've created that drama. That's why I told people, you could debate me all day long as to how whatnot is not the fucking epicenter of all this shit. I would debate the living fuck out of everybody.
Well, here's the funny thing is this comic side of whatnot is just an extremely small portion. Whatnot's expanded 20-fold beyond where we started as initial sellers on the app for Whatnot. And when you look at a lot of selling communities on, you're right. Some of you guys all you guys are right that the narrative on a lot of the Facebook groups and a lot of the private groups for Whatnot sellers is that's the same kind of message of some of the challenges and issues that people are having and across the board. But when you look at a lot of those, that comic side of Whatnot is smaller. The what is it, estate sellers and a lot of the clothing. I mean, it's gotten so much bigger. Like when they said they were going to become the QVC on a mobile device, it's done that. It has done that, and comic side is so much smaller than what it was a year and a half, 2 years ago when it first started.
hey, so this Whatnot's going to be in England, right?
What?
England, or it's just Canada?
Oh, they've already introduced it into Canada because
Well,
like
but are they introducing
Going
it
over
to
to the UK. Yeah,
the
going over
UK?
to the UK. Yep.
So can you imagine, dude? There's going to be like a panel like this in the UK. I fucking hate Whatnot, that bloody bloke and that shit. The English version of us doing that.
And I don't know, devil's advocate, because I don't sell on Whatnot, and I got a ton of books I need to sell, and I've asked a bunch of you guys even, where should I go? And everyone said, don't go to
there.
Whatnot. But on the same note, I buy a shit ton of books on Whatnot, and if you want deals, we were all sad because LCSs, man, the honey holes were all dried up. You go on to Whatnot, every listing's a honey hole. You're gonna find good books. So devil's advocate, we all bitched about not having honey holes, and now we're bitching because we got an online. Fuck this. I don't want to sit in my pajamas and shop for comic books. That's too easy. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking all week. Like the only thing I'm missing at this point is a diaper so I can shit myself while I'm shopping. Like,
damn, you didn't even have to do that, bro. Just take your phone to the toilet.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like on devil's advocate, this is kind of what a lot of us asked for when we get down to brass tacks and we look at it. We all wanted a honey hole. We all wanted easy shopping. They provided it. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are mistakes. There's a lot of things that need to be cleaned up. But I mean,
Brian, can you make an NFT out of that and sell it to Whatnot so that way they can use that as their advertising?
Yeah.
Hey, on a positive
I want
note,
one of one.
You know what I'm saying? We can all sit at home at any time that someone's having a show, and you can even watch the pre-shows. I watch Brian's pre-shows. I watch, Josh's pre-shows, and fuck you guys, because man, I spend a lot of money.
hey, on a positive note,
I got great books.
I found this for $1, bro. Y'all know what this is?
Yeah, is that the game, the board game?
The Stridex, dude. It's fucking rare. I didn't even know that. I paid $1. So right now I'm going to start this off at $1.
$1 books and pay 10 cents or a penny. you're paying a lot more than you used to.
Bro, this is a thorough. This is fucking mint, bro.
So you can only charge as much as $2 because that's 100% markup. Now you got to cut it off, no matter what somebody wants to give.
I'm gonna have them sent to my presser.
But you,
Dude, I made a killing at half price today, bro. I felt bad, dude.
But then that's my thing. Is like I know Solo Wookiee's talking about how like you could get steals on there every day, but that's what I'm saying. How does that make you feel as a seller being on the app and you watching Comic Tom and Gem Mint and all of them? They fucking go and put up Jim Lee X-Men and they fucking get $1,000 for it, and you're there actually putting real good books, and you're fucking getting $97 for a 9.6 number one game. You know what I'm saying? First Gambit.
Sure, I get that, but one, me as a buyer, I got 3 of them Jim Lee fucking X-Men number ones I want to get rid of anyway. Why the fuck would I go spend $1,000 goddamn dollars on that book? That book is toilet paper. They what did they make? 2 million of them fucking things?
Yeah.
Of each one of them? Like, really? You're gonna buy that for
$1,000? That's what blows my mind when they talk about Spawn or they talk about the Jim Lee X-Men. Yeah, they made 1 million of them, but are there 1 million in 9.8 condition? That's what you got to be thinking.
600,000.
Absolutely.
Because people read that fucking book. People read Spawn. I mean, so like when you've got a Spawn 9.8, don't let people go, oh man, they made a shitload of those.
I remember working.
They didn't make a shitload of 9.8
Diamond, and we would get those, and people were buying literally 5 of those at a time. They weren't reading them. They were putting them. They had the bag and the board, and they just put them up. The X-Men, Spider-Man 1, X-Men 1, and Spawn 1, and all the other goddamn image titles.
I guarantee people probably lost it in yard sales and shit like that, dude. You know?
Yeah, but that's seriously, that I remember that being like the first inception as a child or as a kid in that age in the LCS. Buy one, read one. You're buying all of us through those 90s, through that boom with Image. Not only we were, granted, how many of them are still in high grade? At least probably half of them, because every swinging little guy walking in there, we were buying 2 or 3 a piece. That's when it really first started. We didn't even realize we were speculating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, speculation's always been. It should be called guessing. You know what I mean? It should be called guessing.
But it goes
and you got a
back
50-50 chance the book either going to hit or it's not.
It goes back
if you
on
think
me.
about it.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can choose where I spend my money and how much I spend. You know, I buy from Yeezy and I buy from Red Hood and I buy from Brian and I buy from Andy and I buy, you know what I mean? I buy from the people that I know and I trust. I don't buy from Comic Tom. I don't buy from Nerdy Girl. I don't buy from those people. Not that I don't trust them. I don't know them. I never met them. I've never worked with them.
I think there's a different part of it. It's like I know like Brian will have like on the IG, I'll see like the Star Wars books coming across. But I know just with things kind of being suppressed now, like I think Thurip had a really good point about the Dawkins issue. I don't want to buy a book from a friend and pay what I think is not enough for the book and put them in a bad, like to me it feels like and put them in a bad spot.
But at the same time, you know, this is some of the things that again, going back to the original point of Decor's post, and again, I'm gonna say it for the 50th time because I really want it to come through importantly. It's not about Decor himself. It's about the post that I wanted to talk about, right? That was the post. It brought these things in my thought process, right? So if you remember, like one of the things that he said that he has such a problem with that influencers do is that they'll sell their books for a ton of money and you can't say that, oh, if somebody's willing to pay for it, then that's okay. In all honesty, you guys, like if I'm putting a book up there, I'm okay with my starting price on it because I set the starting price. I want to sell that fucking book. So in reality, yes, I'm okay with getting the price that it's on there. I put it up there for that starting price. I understand that you have to educate people, but at some point, if I'm setting a starting price of $60 on a book that, you know, everybody else will say, oh, put it up for $1. Fuck that. you know, I want to sell that book. I'm okay for that book selling for that price. So in reality, there's a ton of people that it's okay if it sells for that. We're good with that. So like again, there's a way that I'm feeling like it's a shot at me, even though it's not a shot at me. I feel a way at it, right? I feel like, no, man, fuck you. I want to sell this book. I want to make some money. That's why I'm doing this, you know. So, anyways,
I don't think you should take it as a shot at you, Brian. You know, yeah.
Ecor's taking his shot at me, and that, I'm not saying that, but you know what I mean. Like I immediately feel like, again, I'll go back to the thing. I don't ever want to feel like if I bring up I have a whatnot sale, I got to be like, all right, guys, I got a whatnot sale at 2:30. Okay, we'll see you guys later. Adios. You know what I mean? Like, or I got to put up like code names and words that I'm gonna have a sale because fucking 20 people are gonna take a shot at me. Like,
you know what? I feel bad though, because the quality of books that you have and that you sell, you should have 100, 200 people in your room, and because things are manipulated to where you only have 10, 15, 20. That's what gets me, because I know I got heat, but I don't want 10 people in my room, even though they say 10 people equal 100 is what Bolo said a month ago, which, bro, come on,
math is,
you know, and I'm always going to go, like, if Aaron goes on there, I'll jump on and I'll support him. If you go on there, I'll jump on and I'll support you. If Andy goes on, I'll support Josh, definitely. You know, like, I'll still go support, like, but I don't want to lose my books for like half the value, because most of my books I dug for them. So it's personal. You know what I mean?
But Joe,
so when I put a book up, it's
you'll say, hey, come on, you're not going to bid on, you got to bid more than that. Don't, you know,
I accused my chat of being on welfare, and don't be in my room if you don't have more than $10 in your wallet, bro. Like, and Josh heard me too. I go, you guys poor, you know, like don't be in here. Get the fuck out of here. You ain't got no money. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just keeping it real.
With
I'll put up
Brian
I'll put up a badass slab 9.8, and it's crickets, bro. It's like, but Comic Tom will put a comic book with toilet paper hanging out of it, and it sells for $500. And I'm like,
do you want to know?
I'm not a hater, but that shit makes me angry.
Do you want to?
Does that make sense?
So how I deal with that, like when Thoreau brought it up, like how can you stand, you know, selling your books when all these other people, you know, like Comic Tom and all them are I don't pay attention to them. I don't watch their shows. I don't know what they're selling.
Hey, Josh, nobody could compete with Josh. Josh, you've got to,
like, I don't pay attention to them. I have a business to run. I don't care what they're doing. Like, I'm worried about me and how much money I need to make to survive.
That's because they can't touch you, Josh, because you have.
Yeah, I mean, Josh,
which is great.
You were so smart to get into the foreign game, you know, and you saw that, like.
But even if I wasn't in that, I still wouldn't care, because I wouldn't be watching I wouldn't be, oh man, why did Comic Tom just sell his book for $50? I couldn't tell you a single book he sold on that app.
Josh, show me on Clayface where Comic Tom touched you.
No, because I just don't care.
But I mean, like,
Clayface.
But Josh sells like American books as well too, and then like he treats it the same way. And like,
hey, where did he touch you, Josh?
Nowhere.
I just with the end that you have for the comic shopping network.
They don't make me money, so yeah, they don't make me money, so I'm not worried about them. Like, I have a business to run. I can't think about what other people are doing.
Well, Josh that being nail on the head. He has a business to run.
Yes.
Right. There's a lot of us out there that we're selling to be a part of the community and to churn those chunks of collections that we didn't need, but we don't have businesses, so we don't have the same skin in the game. So it's vastly different.
I got you.
That's one of the things that kind of seems like, do you have a business? Yes. Do you not have a business? Okay. That kind of seems to be the divisive point right there. And I'm with you, Brian, wholeheartedly, to circle back to the YouTube side of things. It feels like once I started like focusing on that and kind of adding some of that content on my YouTube channel, I kind of felt that little bit of a, not necessarily alienation, but then there were a lot of people that stopped coming to my YouTube channel because of that. That I see here. There's at least 5 names that I see here in your chat tonight that haven't been in any of my shows in 6 to 12 months. And I have
Point
a
them
feeling
out, I'll
that
get
that
them.
may have been it. Well, I mean,
point them out, buddy. I'll fucking rough them up, bro.
That's the beauty of it. People can go where they want to. They don't have to. They can watch anything they want. No shade or hard feelings to anybody that made that decision at all. That was a decision that I made, and that's a decision that I have to live with. But Josh hit the nail on the head right there. He has a business.
Well, I'll tell you real quickly, because I used to watch Andy's show on his YouTube show.
Used to?
And I'll be honest, yeah, I mean, I really don't watch that much anymore. I've gotten so tired of all the comic stuff. That's why I listen to a little more of the podcast, like working out. That's why I feel like I've gotten more like action figures. Like I'm always kind of going, it's always cyclical. I mean, cards and comics and action figures. But I think with the comics, I've just gotten so tired of everything. And it's just not just community, but like She-Hulk, Moon Knight, the MCU hasn't been what I expected to be. You know, DC is just always in flux, and it just feels like, you know, it just hasn't been a great year for comics all around, one way or the other. And cards, you're always kind of fluctuating. So I actually just I think I've been more in the action figure world here in the past.
People don't want to admit it, but like when the movies were going good, the comics were going good. And they don't want it right, thorough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So, but let me tell you. So, and we say whatnot and this and that. A lot of it is the MCU not performing well on Disney Plus and their movies not doing well.
Absolutely.
Because if they were, if it was a fire product, and you could not, well, man, I can't wait to see WandaVision next week. Oh my God, you know, like that would be a different, because then people would have more confidence in buying a Wanda what do you call it, variant or whatever, you know, or a Thor. Man, I'll tell you what, that was scary the way they fucked up Thor. Now I go everywhere. I go like to my LCS and dude, there's a rack of fucking Thor books. Like, dude, they fucked him up, dude. Like, nobody wants Thor no more, man. You know what I mean?
They're trying to make him, instead of a superhero, more of a joke or a comedian. Like, the way they've turned him, and Tiki, whatever his name is, he is just brutal because he doesn't even read the books. I mean, like, we've talked about this in the past. Like, he admitted, like, he'd gotten comics and just ignored them. He wants to do his own thing. Well, his own thing sucks. I mean, that's just, it is what it is. And the MCU, like, I don't know what this phase was, but it feels like the phase I went through as a 13-year-old. It's garbage. No one wants to see it again.
Yeah. Well, let's switch this up a little bit. We're going to get into some of the movie talk, but I want to bookend this little thing right here by saying this. So, going forward, I'm going to do my best, you guys, to try not to deal with this silly whatnot shenanigans behind the scenes. I'm going to do my best because it just feels like it's become specifically the whatnot stuff, right? Specifically that type of shit. It feels like it's become like the cyclical fighting game where I just don't want to deal with it. So I'm going to do my best not to have these long conversations about this shit the whatnot shit going forward. The whatnot drama, I should say, right? I'm going to still talk about my shows that I have on whatnot. I'm going to still talk about the good sales on whatnot. And in all honesty, if you get a snapback at me, like I'm tired of it, like you might get that. You might get that if you're going to throw out these little things every once in a while. You might get something from me saying like, you know, come on, quit acting like a douchebag. But don't worry, it's just me being angry about it for a little bit. I'll get over being butthurt. It'll take a little bit of time, but I'll get over it. But that being said, I'm going to do my best to try and curtail that. But I just wanted to, and again, to put it all in a nice little bow, tight in a little bow. I wanted to use D-Core's post to start a conversation to try and help me figure out a way to look at this going forward. So thank you, every one of you guys, for being my psychiatrist tonight. I appreciate it. It's been fun. Let's get into without
only gonna cost
talking.
you
Spoilers for Wakanda?
Yeah,
It's-
without getting into spoilers.
It's only gonna cost you your Julio Rodriguez, you know.
His and Richie's. We'll split them up between the two.
Yeah. Between all of us, you know.
Yeah. All right, let's get into, without getting into spoilers, let's talk about the MCU, because it feels like this movie could do a little bit of that sparking, right? Just like the first one did, a little bit of that spark for all of us to say, man, it was good enough to maybe spark something. Like, I don't think I've heard anybody say it was worse than an 8 out of 10, or at the very least, like, a matter of fact, I haven't heard anybody say it's worse than an 8 out of 10, which is a good thing, right? And I hope that this will spark something going forward, where like all the majority of the MCU stuff coming out is going to be great, because it feels like we have a good lineup coming with Quantum Mania and all this stuff.
But this is the end of Phase 4 for it, right?
Yes.
Thank
So
God.
I mean, and then Quantum Manium starts the beginning of
Phase
Phase
5.
5. So I mean, like, you know, there's been a couple really good hits towards the end, right? Where by night everyone like talked highly about that, and then now we're ending Black Panther Phase 4. But I mean, like, can anyone honestly say, like, when you saw the layout of what Phase 4 was, like, oh, I'm looking forward to this?
I think the
Joe wanted Echo.
No, I think, you know, coming off of Endgame, and they had that run, and who would have thought that they weren't going to continue that? And so I got excited. Disney Plus, and they're going to have all these shows, like, holy shit, you know, and then those characters are going to go into the MCU, major motion picture, and it's going to catapult them. Man, like the possibilities for like speculating on books and books that were like $1 could be $100. Like that was a thing, you know, and it's like it was almost done on purpose to fuck up all these characters.
Well, the way they launched Disney Plus, I thought the series just hit it. I mean, like, I love Captain America and Winter Soldier.
See, that was okay.
Hawkeye,
I mean,
I loved it because I love Bucky. I think the way I think Sebastian Stan is just, I think he is just a stud in the MCU.
I just want to say that,
and then the Hawkeye, like I want to go. I'm just waiting for the holidays to go back and watch that one. I feel like it's calmed down just with, like, I like Miss Marvel. I didn't have a problem with that. It was better than I thought it would be, but I felt like Moon Knight and She-Hulk, but it felt like a lot of it was front loaded. Like, those were the best series, and it's kind of been declining. So I hope they can kind of get the momentum back on that part.
I just want to say, we keep talking about the MCU ruining spec, and we keep forgetting that the economy is in like a total shithole right now.
I hear you, Josh, but man, you see like all these books selling, bro. And when you see all these exclusives selling for $200, $300, and I mean, go on eBay. Yeah, you could say the economy. People are still paying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for books.
How much were those books 3 years ago? 20,
Exactly.
16, 12.
That's the man, and he's doing it with my tax dollars. Fuck
Is
that
there
guy.
Did a price guide come out that said these books are worth half? No, somebody needed some money, and they sold that book for half. And then so we look at it, everything's going down. I think we've perpetuated a lot of this by saying, oh man, when's it going to crash? I remember being on shows where, you know, instead of being positive, you know, some motherfuckers would say, oh man, it's going to come as high as it went up, it's going to come down. And,
But,
you know, we kind of caused that a little bit.
Is it really a crash, or did we just witness the perfect storm of government influxing money and COVID and all of the new people, new collectors, new buyers at like the tail end peak of Marvel Phase 3 and Phase 4? Like, was that a perfect storm where three things hit and caused this giant shitstorm that we witnessed, and now things are quote unquote maybe normalizing?
Because normally these people go and buy crack with that extra money, you know?
Jesus.
You know, they went and bought comic books.
I would say, like, if you're talking about your golden age and silver age, I think Andy's got a point. Like, you know, if you're talking about like hedge funds actually coming in and buying things as assets, that's different. But if you're talking about like, hey, I'm going to go look for Black Panther number 3, or I'm going to look for Wolverine 12 or X-Men Red number 1, I don't think you'll ever, I think that was the perfect storm. Like everything just, there was boom, boom, boom. It seemed like every week there was something you could take and flip immediately on eBay, get your money. You can probably, if you wanted to, you could pay for your books that week. You don't have that option anymore.
And that doesn't happen anymore because everyone got burned.
Yeah.
That was buying books during the shutdown and COVID. We know card people that started buying comics. Guess what? I don't think they're buying comics.
And they didn't know anything about it. They just wanted to buy.
You want to know what one of the unique things was for people? A lot of people in my situation, my age with a child, was that if you didn't handle your paperwork accordingly, you didn't respond to the government in a timely fashion, they instantly started sending you like a weekly or a bi-weekly child tax credit. So instantly everybody's getting like $300, $400, $500, $600 every other week or every week, because you had to mail them paperwork or you had to respond to them to say, no, I don't want this in a bi-weekly or monthly. So all of a sudden everybody's getting all this extra money, not just in these credits, but all of a sudden it became regular, like even more regular than the bailout stuff. Like every time I turn around, I'm getting sent in a check that I didn't really want because I don't want to have to pay that back later.
People were flush.
Yeah, way flush.
Yeah. I mean, I knew people got laid off and they were making more being laid off than what they were doing working. So there's no rush to go back to work. Even when they call you back, like, no, I'm pretty comfortable.
It blows me away.
I got the child support check. That's it. They just kept saying, "Hey, you give us
Hey,
money."
go back
but we
down,
ain't giving
Brian.
you nothing. I was like, "What?"
That Storm book right there. That
$31.50 for a 9.6, bro.
God damn! I gotta get on eBay, bro.
What are you talking about? $31 for that book? Yeah, man, that's a great buy.
Hell yeah!
Yeah,
we cracked that open, man.
So I think that's what I think that we need to maybe start looking at it like I get it that there's a lot of people that jumped in and maybe spent a lot on this books and now are looking at like, oh man, I'm out a bunch of money. But also, like, we got to start saying, like, man, it's getting
deal.
It's really buying season right now, you guys. If there were books that you have been waiting for, go take a look at them and see if they've dropped, because it might be a great time to buy some of those books you were, waiting on because they had gotten too big, or some investment on some very key books, some investment on some Silver Age keys, some first appearance keys, some GOAT Hall of Famer cards. Like, there's definitely investment opportunities. And
remember how we were talking about, every year you kind of, as you get closer to the holidays, especially like November, December, there are better deals. If you look at Michael Jordan A6 Flair PSA 9 right now, you can get it for almost $17,000. And I know that's a lot of money, but it is nowhere near the amount that you would have gotten it either 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 2 years ago. I mean, it's suppressed.
Would a Miles Morales Jurjevic variant sell for half right now?
The 9.8s don't. I've been watching them, and I think the last one I saw actually went for like 37.
McClay, can you highlight Haven for Heroes comment earlier in the chat? There was a lot of
check the new platform one.
No, keep up a little bit more. There was a lot of Bitcoin money. This is also another big portion. Is a lot of cryptocurrency was at its height, and people were cashing in and shifting their investments from crypto to hobby stuff. And I feel like a lot of people, like Elon Musk, when they started receiving Bitcoin for Tesla cars, that shot through the roof, and a lot of people saw that as an opportunity to shift their money elsewhere.
It's funny Andy when you say that, because Tesla ended up putting X amount of their cash into Bitcoin, and things started going down. People were worried about, hey, what's going to hurt the balance sheet? But Bitcoin's at 60, and then all of a sudden now it's at 19. So you're
oh God, no! Let's look at it right now. I mean, just without going too far in the rabbit hole, Bitcoin was at down to 16,000. It's 16,851 on my phone right now.
So Andy is now shorting in Bitcoin, so he's got the money, so he's going to buy this stuff for us.
What? $10,000 for Black Panther Monopoly? Get the fuck out of here!
Bitcoin money, bro. That was a Bitcoin right there.
I will tell you, like thorough covered on your show about everybody that Black Panther 3, man. Like, you see that book starting to move, man. The Chosen.
Yep. A lot of people, I mean, I've already told people, like, I know, I'm listening to you guys talking about it. Yeah, the market fucking was at a high because of, the extra income. Nobody had to drive anywhere, nobody had to do anything, so you rarely were using money for anything, period. But the number one thing I will say, that really didn't have too much to do with it. Really, we were at a point in comic books when everybody was excited about movies, everybody was excited for shows, everybody was excited for freaking anything comic book related, period. And that shit just declined. You start looking at how all these shows, these movies are doing progressively, these things all suck. So that's not getting any interest, from anybody to go ahead and say, hey, I want to put in big money. I mean, I know I just saw Brian going past the damn first Black Panther. Those first Black Panthers, even Raw, those shits were up there in the thousands, bro. And now you could get one for freaking 300, 4 or 5, just depending on the grade. But I'm going to say it how it is. The last big thing we ever talked about in comic books as a comic book was Donny Cates' Venom run. Everybody was all over that shit. And as soon as that stopped and that was gone, and then all the movies and shows started going to shit, you just started to see this dramatic freaking decline, because people still have funds available. People still buy comic books. You're just seeing literally a price. Look at this shit. That's freaking that's insane. But that's a true believer. I'm about to say, I was like, shit. Yeah. Who the hell got that? But yeah, you look at all those things now, and you put that all in the mix, and now all of a sudden, with everything that happened in the end credits in the Black Panther movie, which I finally saw it, guys, but I saw it the good old New York way. I saw it the bootleg, because I wasn't going to pay for it. All right, I'm gonna put that out there right there.
That ain't the New York way. That's the Hispanic way, bro.
Nah, that's a New York way, bro. Every Hispanic, anybody up in New York will freaking watch the bootleg. So I watched it. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I know a lot of people. I would not watch it again.
That's so funny, watch it again. I just watched the Boondocks when they sneak into the movies. The cartoon, you ever seen? They're up in New York.
Yeah, I'm not saying you talking about it.
That episode kills me, man.
Nah, that fucking episode was hilarious as shit. No, but I watched it.
What didn't you like about it, man?
Dude, I didn't. You know, the only thing that they played out right, bro, was Namor.
Yeah,
they played him down to a T. Yes, he's not Atlantean, which I would have preferred to have Atlantean freaking Namor and just stuck the way that it was. And I get everybody just always talks about, hey, like we need to have all these inclusion, all these things. All right, cool, perfectly fine. But in the end, it was just like you saw in the end, one way or another, they were going to put in their agendas into the fucking movie, bro. And say if I'm wrong, Hood, I don't know if you watched it yet, but say if I'm wrong or not. All right, so say if I'm wrong or not, that fucking Disney, one way or another, fucking puts in the agendas and all this crap in the movies. They do it no matter what. And my biggest thing out of it was like, they honestly, after I watched it, I 100% now know that they were banking on on Chadwick's death. That's literally how I looked at it. That's how I was freaking looking at it. It was like everybody kept saying it over and over again. It was like the stage of grievance, then going into the freaking thing. Then I will tell you one character that got the America Chavez treatment was Riri Williams, just like I called it out before. I did not think Riri Williams. I didn't like her.
You know, honestly, she was only supposed to have a little like originally like after credit scene or cameo, but she tested so well with you know how they preview the dailies or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
That the likability factor, I think that sets her up perfectly for a show. I thought she held her own. Did it seem kind of out of place a little bit? Yeah. Right.
Tell me, do you think the dynamics between Shuri and Namor were there? Because I personally didn't feel it.
No, not like they would have been. Can you? And that's heartbreaking because if Chadwick Boseman was alive, that movie would have been fucking epic.
Yeah. And it goes to show you, a big reason why I kept saying they need to recast T'Challa. I get it. Chadwick passed. Yeah. I understand that. That's I don't want to sound fucked up.
You don't think that they did that though? You don't think that's what they did in this movie?
What's that?
They basically recast T'Challa in this movie without recasting Chadwick, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt like
but you have to wait for it instead of just putting like You know,
yeah, during this movie, yeah, they had to put in a Shuri in. Shuri's gonna be the Black Panther, you know, doing like, you know, little TV spots and movie spots for the next couple years. And then when Black Panther 3 comes out, they're gonna fast forward that kid growing up and this and that. And maybe at that time they have the X-Men showing up and the mutants showing up, right? And you can get the Storm and T'Challa relationship, right? You can get that now. You can get all the things you wanted from T'Challa Black Panther now, because you know you have a T'Challa. It might not be Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa, but you have a T'Challa Black Panther, so it's not going to feel weird for a lot of us old school Black Panther fans, or the real deep Black Panther fans are still gonna. And I think that we've also become a little too like, give us what we want type thing. Like, we got to be okay with amalgamations, man. We got to be okay with that shit.
Just
as long as the writing is good.
Yeah.
It's like Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury.
Yeah.
He's perfect.
Yeah,
he's great. But Shuri, she's not the Black Panther. Like, I don't see her ever carrying. Was that Galactus? I don't see her ever carrying that weight of that franchise. Like, that's not what I want to see. Like, she's great in her role. That's perfect. But I need T'Challa. I need someone in that role.
I think you saw it at the end of the movie.
But unfortunately, it's not. But unfortunately, you know, time moves on, and he wouldn't want you. I don't know, but I don't think he'd want you to, like, hey, everything's got to stop with me. I think, you know, he seemed pretty selfless person. So
no, I think I told Thorough, it's like we won a lot of championships with our football team, right? But our quarterback retired, which was Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to get a quarterback and all these replacement players. We had a Hall of Fame wide receiver. We had a Hall of Fame running back, and we're trying to rebuild this team again. And you can
really hard.
Yeah. And so it's weird how like, I'm using a sports analogy for the MCU, but that's what it fucking feels like, man. That we've got all these replacement players that are trying to, like, live up to this dynasty that we had. Because
Joe, I think you got spot on. You know? I was always wondering how, you know, when you get past the Chris Evans as Captain America and Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther and Morton Downey Jr. or Iron Man, but anyway, all the main guys who've been the characters that we know and love for this amount of time, and you start bringing in, you know, like again, I mentioned, like, Hawkeye's great, but, you know, at some point there's saturation and it gets a little tiring. And when at some point you think the MCU will eventually probably have to completely reset, because they're going to have to get back to the main characters, and because you can't just kind of keep rolling out, like, Riri may be great, but, you know, I don't want Ironheart. I want Iron Man. I want the big person.
And plus, you don't feel any consequence. Like all these shows, like, did you feel like any of these characters were gonna die? You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
Like, oh shit, they're in danger. Like, any of these shows, I didn't feel like anybody was in any kind of danger.
You don't have any villains, because all the villains, they turn into, like, good guys or anti-villains, because there are no bad guys. So there's one of your first problems in the first, you know, if you they've screwed that part up so many times.
But I don't want them to die, right? I feel like that's like a trope, right? I feel like tell a good story without having to threaten off killing off a character. Tell a good story without killing off a character. Like, give me a
Iron Man didn't need to die during.
Fuck no.
He didn't need to die, but these actors also can't play these characters forever.
Yeah, they can.
You can
no, they can't.
Look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady's still quarterbacking right now for Tampa Bay. He's almost 50, bro. You telling me Robert Downey Jr. can't play Iron Man?
Yeah, what did he lose?
Giselle.
Yeah.
Hey, bro. Sometimes, bro.
You just gotta take the L. But
hey, that's Tom Brady. You don't know if he's got a couple of side pieces, man. He's got.
Well, he's taking 2 L's to these guys.
That's right.
That's Tom Brady.
You need to switch that freaking jacket, man. You need to go get a Knicks jacket, bro.
Hey, one loss doesn't replace another loss.
Oh,
I know.
I
We're
don't
talking.
need Charles Smith getting blocked 7 times. I can get
oh
that here.
yeah, remember that Charles Smith?
Right.
Yeah, man.
I know we're talking comics and stuff, but we gotta remember, like, these are real people with real lives, and
What?
it's movies. Like, they can't play these characters forever. Like,
Nah.
they're gonna either have to die, or someone else is
Damn
gonna
it,
have to take the
Josh.
mantle over.
You
or
saying Santa
something.
Claus is fucking real?
Santa Claus is not real.
You saying Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
I like him very much.
Josh
Josh is like
better
that
stop.
angel. Josh is like the angel.
Josh, maybe
right
in the
here, man.
international comics world, maybe they can't play these people forever. But
So this
Oh,
is
US
don't let
of A.
Josh fool you, man. This
you're
is
gonna
how he
have-
swindles those foreign people. Hi,
You're gonna
my
have
name
Robert
is
Downey
Josh.
Jr. in like a
I'm harmless.
wheelchair. Like,
Send me all your books.
Well, I mean, most of it's a stunt double anyway, so
Exactly.
it's true.
But how much do they actually? It's just like how much do they say? Well, I don't want to do this for so long. You don't care how long you do it. I just want more money.
What fucking movie did Robert Downey Jr. do after the one with the animals, dude? Like, you wanted to leave Iron Man for that crap? Are you serious, bro? Like I get it if he wants to go on Broadway and do Hamlet or something like that and really just
Hugh Jackman did Broadway, but he's still doing Wolverine shit. So
right, at least
there's
Hugh
time.
Jackman's coming back. You know what I mean?
There's
money
time.
talks,
If there's money,
bro.
there's time.
Money
Well,
talks, bro.
Let's talk real quick. I want to run down this real quick just because we kind of got into it, but the Phase 5 movies that are coming out, these are the Phase 5 flicks that we can kind of be waiting for coming down the line that have release dates. Now, obviously, we all know these are going to change, but just to remind everybody what we got coming up and what we're waiting on, we've got Quantum Mania. That's the first movie to kick it off for Phase 5. That is going to be February. That's coming out. Looks excellent. I think we all think it looks good. A much different tone this time, which I like. But I thought that Ant-Man stuff was funny, but I like that they're taking a different tone with this. It doesn't feel like it's going to be as funny, which I want. Then we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 coming out May. After that,
are we excited for Guardians of the
Who
Galaxy?
is doing the Guardians? Is it still James Gunn or is that?
Yes. Initially,
Is that last one?
Yeah, it says
last
initially writer-director James Gunn was set to round off the pop-infused candy-colored Nirvana that had made the first two Guardians movies such a joy, but tweets dredged up from the filmmaker's past led to his sacking from the project, to the anger of the film's actors, including Dave Bautista. In the aftermath, Gunn agreed to helm the Suicide Squad reboot, and he's been reinstated as the director of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, although the disruption has bumped the release date back. So he is back. After all that, we all know that, but I think Guardians is going to be excellent, man. I think
I
it's
hope
gonna
so.
be Yeah.
I think
it's gonna be
actually
a-
DC's had a better year so far than Marvel has.
Yeah. After Guardians, then we have Marvels in July. And I think this is the first flick where I go, okay, this is one that I'm worried about. Out of the Phase 5 movies, this is the first one in the group so far that makes me go, okay, this is one that I'm a little bit worried about. I do have a little bit of a hope for it because it's not just a Carol Danvers movie. You've got Monica Rambeau, you've got Kamala Khan. There's a good chance we're gonna get Adam Blue Marvel in it. We can all kind of cross our fingers. I think that it has a better chance of being good rather than bad. I
think Monica Rambeau is a really good character. I think she was great in WandaVision. I think the problem is that Carol Danvers is better in her Nissan commercials than she is in the MCU.
Yes. Yeah, she's just not likable for some reason.
No.
I don't know what it is.
She needs to fill out the pants.
Yeah, I give you that.
See, this is how I feel about the Guardians movie, though.
See?
I mean, just being real, okay, we're now getting Adam Warlock. So Adam Warlock missed the biggest part of his comic book.
Yeah.
I mean, he's now coming into this, and he just wasn't there for the entire, Infinity War, which he was the main part of. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Did you guys hear that this Marvels movie is going to be a part musical?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I'm not,
What?
dude. I'm not even lying fucking
No
to y'all
way.
right now. Yeah, that
Yeah,
just
they're
got
supposed
put
to go
out
to
on.
a planet where they can only sing or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What the
It's
fuck,
it's gonna be a
bro?
musical. So you see how kind of they like go side by side with fucking DC. DC ends up freaking announcing the Joker was gonna be a musical. Then all of a sudden now, all this shit's coming out about the Marvels, and it's supposed
Man,
to
if
be
this
part music.
if this bitch breaks out into Cool Rider halfway through the flick, I'm out.
You know you like that movie, bro.
Fucking, I ain't watching no Grease 2 Danvers shit.
Hey, dude,
Fuck
I
that.
used to date a chick. I used to date a chick that we had to watch fucking Grease 2 all the goddamn time, bro.
Hence why they were saying they were always showing all those little Easter eggs. You guys know in the shows where they were showing the musicals on Broadway and everything. That was the reason why. It was because of that.
After that, we've got Captain America: New World Order. That
See, that feels like an MCU movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That feels like there's consequences in that movie.
It
You know
better
what I
all
mean?
it better take place in Harlem, bro, and they better introduce my boy Rage. They introduce Rage in here. This will be a hell of a movie.
It says upon the retirement of Steve Rogers, Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon, is now set to adopt the mantle as the Star-Spangled Man. Following the events of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the former now becomes the new Captain of America for a troubled new age. The Cloverfield Paradox director Julius Onah is at the helm of the fourth Captain America movie. So that is a quick little idea of what we're getting. And then after that, we get Thunderbolts in July, which I think a lot of us are looking forward to. I know I am, for one reason and one reason only, and that is Yelena Belova, man. I am such a fan of that character and the chick playing that character.
Awesome.
Oh man, it feels really good to
Where's that Marvel swimsuit issue?
Right. And then finally Blade, September, we're gonna get Blade, and I think there's one more after that, right? Yeah,
Is it still-
Deadpool 3. Deadpool
Nice.
3. Yeah. So
They had to go into
Yeah,
rewrite. Y'all heard already? They had
I was
to go
gonna
into
say, I didn't
rewrite
know-
mode
I didn't know
again.
if Blade was actually still coming out on time.
I don't even think it's fucking gonna come out, or I'm
Yeah.
honestly at a point where I think Mahershala Ali isn't even gonna be Blade anymore. They said that they're back again for a third time trying to rewrite the script because it's fucking looking ugly. It's looking really bad.
That guy's a stud. So if you lose him, then you might as well just scrap it and
go get Wesley Snipes, bro.
That Wesley
I
Snipes
thought he
would
was
want
already
to
gonna
do
be
it for
part of
them,
it.
bro.
yeah, he gave his blessings for Ali
Yeah.
to do it. So it kind of sounds like he wants to stay out. But it says it's been confirmed that Bassam Tariq is no longer helming the Blade movie, and the film has been put on production pause while the script
Yeah.
is worked on. So that's kind of a bummer. But
You
those
know,
are the
but
movies that
Ryan
you got,
Coogler, Ryan Coogler should direct Blade, man, and they should get Michael B. Jordan to play fucking Blade, dude. Fuck it.
I think Mahershala Ali is perfect, dude.
I was
I
about to say
think
the
he's
guy they
perfect.
picked, he was great.
Well,
You know, they
okay.
ended up getting
so-
Sam Raimi to be the new director for Blade. That's what they're already talking about. And I was
Are you
like,
serious, dude?
Yeah, dude. I was
No,
like, please
bro.
don't. I was like, get him
Why
out of
you
there.
you don't think Sam Raimi did a
Nah,
good job
dude.
with Spider-Man?
With with the original Spider-Man?
No, not the original one. The
Or are
most
you
recent.
talking about the?
yeah, Doctor
Yeah,
Strange.
he did
sorry.
Doctor Strange. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
yeah,
Doctor
no.
Strange. That's what I meant to say. I thought Doctor Strange was great, man.
Really?
Oh,
Mm.
I really
I
liked
fell asleep, bro. Sorry, Brian. I fell asleep in that bitch. I was there and I was just like passed out. I was like, son of a bitch.
I like the darker
Raimi-
tone to it. It
Raimi
felt like a
and
good Raimi movie.
Raimi and Watiti just need to go away.
I agree.
Thank
You know what
Josh.
the
Yeah,
best?
no way.
Hey, you know what the best stuff Marvel put out this year was the fucking What If. That was the best stuff they had out. That cartoon.
It was
You
good.
know, with
Yeah.
the zombies and
Yeah.
shit like that.
I agree.
Right?
All right,
I mean,
let's switch real quick here. Let's take a quick somber tone to remember the late great Kevin Conroy passed away. Obviously, a big part of a lot of our childhoods. And I've said this before. I'll say it again. Whenever I'm reading any Batman story, I hear Kevin Conroy's voice in my head, and when I'm reading Batman's lines, there's something about Batman the Animated Series that resonates so deeply with a lot of us. I think a lot of us might have been just young enough to where it was like that cartoon that we watched every day, and then a lot of us were also like old enough to recognize that it's not just a kid's cartoon and that it was so much more, and it was like one of those first cartoons where adults could really lock into it. A lot of us were in high school watching it. I remember we used to come home every day from school and throw on Batman the Animated Series after school and just chill and watch Batman the Animated Series. So good. And of course it introduced so many great characters, like obviously Harley, but then you have the great Dr. Freeze. I think Dr. Freeze became the Dr. Freeze that we all know and love today through Batman the Animated Series, and that storyline of, you know, about Nora Freeze. Just beautiful writing that we got with Batman the Animated Series. And it's just fascinating. And
Bruce Timm artwork on top of that.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Conroy is Batman. Like he is Batman.
So I saw Kevin Conroy at Dallas Fan Expo same time Mark Hamill showed up, and then there was a panel where my brother and I attended, you know, just to listen, where people asked some questions, and someone asked, like, why do I always hear your voice whenever I'm reading a Batman comic? And then Kevin Conroy's response was, well, the brainwashing worked. So I thought it was really funny.
I'm gonna jump onto that point because we're gonna get our first copyright strike of the day for this one. There's a really amazing thing that Kevin Conroy says in one of at one of the points in the YouTube or the documentary for the documentary for The Heart of Batman. I'm going to bring that up real quick. There's this great documentary on YouTube called The Heart of Batman. It is probably one of the best documentaries out, not just on comics or you know, any of that stuff.
The show had tried to get him over.
There we go. Let me find the exact spot. I had this all queued up, but I killed it.
And remember, you can go watch this on HBO Max. They have all the DC animated shit on HBO Max, and you can watch all of them.
So this is the Heart of Batman, and this is such a great moment where they're talking about the casting director and that finding Kevin Conroy. And there's a moment here that we're gonna talk about him talking about Bruce Wayne and how he looked at Bruce Wayne. That to me is one of the reasons why the animated series was so good. By the way, you guys, the music in this documentary is fan-frickin-tastic. It is like, you know, when you first heard Stranger Things and you went, holy shit, man, the music in Stranger Things is amazing. Same with this documentary.
Is money, man. That girl is, you wouldn't know it, but if you watch probably 85% of the cartoons you've ever seen, that girl, superhero cartoons, that girl did all the voice casting. That girl is fucking money.
Yeah, she's badass. Yeah. What really takes me back to realizing like how true that is Christian Bale's role as Batman and him as Bruce Wayne, because I always thought Christian Bale was the greatest Bruce Wayne, my favorite Bruce Wayne. He did such a good job of that duality between the two, right? And how you have to put on a show to be who you're supposed to be normally. And he kind of keys in on it. That's why Bruce Wayne is such an important thing. I think like being Bruce Wayne is so much an important character, much more important character than Clark Kent is to Superman. Like Bruce Wayne to Batman is more important than Clark Kent is to Superman, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But every time I saw Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne, I always thought Patrick Bateman.
Yeah, he looked exactly like him.
But when they came out with the trailers for the second and third Nolan films, they actually took, if you actually YouTube it, you can find where they took the animated series and they took the verbiage from the trailers, and then someone had placed it with the different parts of the animated series. And And I think that's when I started remembering back from like the cartoons like Summer Gleason and Veronica, like characters that were introduced in an animated series but weren't in like anything else. And like Mask of the Phantasm, like I was always speculating big on that because I was like, eventually Batman Beyond will be a movie, or that's gonna be a movie, and somehow or another they'll incorporate Phantasm. But like Heart of Ice, that was the episode about Nora Freeze. Yeah.
That's my favorite.
It's a great
storyline. And you know what my second favorite storyline is, and I really love the Clayface storyline in Batman the Animated Series.
Oh yeah, amazing.
Yeah. This is very interesting. This is kind of creepy in a way, but it's very interesting. So, Watchtower Database, DC Watchtower Database came out with this on Twitter. They said, "We heard the news about Kevin Conroy last night and spent the rest of our nights in our emotions, hoping it was just a rumor. Genuinely don't know what to say. I just wanted to share his thoughts on death that he shared with me when my grandma passed." So let's play it.
Hey, Maddie. This is Batman.
Kinda
Calling you
weird.
from Wayne Manor. Now, Sissy told me that you're a big fan of Batman, and I really appreciate that. She also told me that your grandmother's passing. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Kind of weird.
You know, I sat with both of my parents on separate occasions as they passed. And the thing to remember is their spirit lives on. The body is just a vessel. And you really see that when someone passes. So your grandmother will always be with you. Her spirit will always be in you. The people we love are always with us. So this is a shout out for
Very weird, right? That's kind of weird, like when that stuff happens and
Hey, bro, I got to go to sleep in a little bit, bro. I better not have nightmares, dude.
It's interesting, dude.
But you might have that dream of that one face, you know, that people see like when
Yeah.
sleeping.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, check out Drunken Chat from last night.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty sad. The cool thing though is to sit back and remember his legacy and like what he left. You know, it's pretty cool to realize his legacy. You know how important it is to so many of us as Batman fans that we look at that like whenever we read Batman, we hear his voice in our heads. That's pretty fucking cool.
I don't think you'll ever see a cartoon to the caliber of Batman the Animated Series ever again, because that like I see Manny the comic collector was talking about the Clayface story was so dark and sad. It was like, yo, was this for kids? I don't think nowadays I don't think you would ever see that coming out as an after school cartoon. Not that they even have cartoons anymore, man. They freaking got rid of everything.
Yeah.
Well, I remember it's just like you're talking about, like when the He-Man on Netflix came out, and Hamill was Skeletor. I just never could take it the same because I just kept hearing the Joker. I was like, "Where's Batman?" It didn't mesh, it didn't flow. Just because you know what Batman sounds like, you know what the Joker sounds like, and all of a sudden somehow or another they're in Eternia or
Dude,
one of them.
like we were lucky to have like cartoons like the Transformers and G.I. Joe and He-Man and Batman Adventures, and like I remember going to the theater to see Mask of the Phantasm, man. I mean,
Me too. Yeah.
you know, so like we were lucky. Like kids today, like all they know are their video games and I know I'm just generalizing, but like I mean,
but there were so many great cartoons because like you're talking about the central, like you spread it out. I mean, there are so many. Like I can still sing you
there's more.
The Bionic Six. And I mean, like just the random stuff, like GoBots, all these other ones, like Tiger Sharks, Silverhawks, Visionaries, name them, Gummy Bears. I remember them through and through.
Fucking Beavis and Butthead, bro.
Do you know why we don't? Do you know why we don't have after-school cartoons anymore? They changed the laws, so that you had to have a certain amount of hours of educational programming. So instead of cartoons, you ended up with Animal Planet and all the animal shows that were after school and before school, and they had to have like 4 hours of that for every 1 hour of cartoons. It was a big government thing that they said our kids were getting dumber watching cartoons.
When,
you know how
when
many,
Kevin
how
Conroy
many
did Tiny Toons, do you remember they had one character on one episode called Foul Mouth? And they had to bleep out everything he said, almost every other word. He was my favorite character. He was only one episode. And that guy was like, mother, beep, 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 beep,
how
every
many
time.
how many people of our age do you hear talk about those Animal Planet shows after school?
Nah,
a
man.
Many people
fucking
were talking about like
Not a
finding the
single
National
person.
Geographics of my grandparents' house.
I still
Yeah,
remember the Ben
none.
Affleck after school special where he took steroids, bro. It scared the shit out of me, dude.
What they missed is that we all learned something and took something to heart from all those cartoons, and those cartoons had great messages, and we received those loud and clear and well. We didn't get shit from the Animal Planet shows, and we grew up just learning that, you know, big kitties eat smaller kitties, you know, and that's and gazelles and deer. All right, well, I don't feel so bad because
you look at Captain
nature.
Planet. Look at Captain Planet. What they were teaching the shit in Captain Planet. So how the hell did they come out and say? Because it's kind of like similar to like the Comic Code Authority when they came out, and then all of a sudden you started seeing fucking Batman fighting dragons and shit. And you know, and then after that, later on down the road, I was like, I hope that shit changes. But with cartoons, you're right, it hasn't gone away. It's been that same consistent freaking model. You need to put in an hour of that, and then something educational and blah blah blah. And now you don't get anything to the caliber of the cartoons that we were all receiving because, like you said, you got messages in them.
We do.
Now you don't.
You love this. The only way I can get my kid up like early in the morning, I have to put on Roadrunner and Coyote and Looney Tunes. Like he's out, but when he hears the Looney Tunes, that sound, it's like a zombie. He just like it's like the Undertaker. He just wakes up and he just you see his big smile and he just oh man, it doesn't matter what time it is. He's in all in.
Bro, I still remember watching this fucking Super Friends, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
how great was it back at the hall?
Yeah. Who was it? Oh my god, dude. I kind of I stopped watching it after who is it? The Wonder Twins. I was like, what?
Oh, dude,
no.
the Wonder Twins are great.
Dude, I just sent my sister.
Oh god, I opened up a can
up.
of worms. Here we go.
Yeah, I just sent her. I had Zan and Zana of these.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, and because me and my sister grew up.
Who was the Indian, bro? What was his name, dude? Who was the Indian who grew? Kazumako ni Hayaku. Who was that?
Oh,
I can't remember his name. It's Chief something.
No, not Chief. What was his name? dude?
Wasn't he Apache Chief or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Apache Chief, right?
Yep.
I
So
so
we
we
still
have
have-
Brainiac was a
everybody put it
robot,
on there too.
and Brainiac didn't look anything like he looked in the comic because he had the little things on his
Apache
head.
Chief.
I was like,
There you go.
We still
Hey, I
have
want
great
to
cartoons.
real quick. I just noticed Big Time Collectibles in the house. Let me know if that's Nelson from Big Time Collectibles. If it is, shout out to them. At some point, we want to get you on here, Nelson. Talk to you about being a retailer and in this space and that type of stuff. We also are going to have the owner of Comics Elite on the show at some point to come on. So I want to start trying to bring on some of these owners. I really think that's important. I think that a lot of shows out there, that a lot of us content creators do good when we do that. I know I like when Thoro brings on comic owners. I love when other shows bring on comic owners. I love to hear from them. Even if sometimes we might not agree with some of the stuff that they've done in the past, I want to hear, what they feel on those situations and some of those things, and what we can do in the future, to help that situation. So anyways, all right, let's flip the script again. I want to go through a couple of the things that are coming out, FOC, I guess, stuff, and then some interesting stuff I saw. Did you guys see this? I know most of us have seen it or heard about it, but again, this is kind of interesting. We had all those Spawn variants that showed up on the DC books. You remember seeing all the Spawn DC books where Spawn is just randomly on a DC cover now, which great for Todd McFarlane to pull that off. Like, that's pretty awesome. But now we've got at least 20 new Spawn covers coming out through Image. Is it 50?
It's 50.
Oh,
What
dude.
the fuck?
Yeah, 50 different books that are coming out for that.
Wasn't it
so
the same guy giving Jim Lee and all those guys shit for going back to like the, I know I'm not saying these are, but like the whole DC thing, like wasn't he the one giving them shit for going back to like, the big two? And then, I mean, the guy, I love McFarlane, but he's all about the dollar and he loves giving people shit.
He's got to fund a
not
movie.
his way.
Yeah. He's got to fund a movie. Let's go through these, and I want.
That's a great point, Brian.
If any of these are good enough that you guys would buy them, let
Pass.
me know.
Pass.
I'd buy
Hard,
that.
That's a hard pass right there. That's a pass.
Pass.
Nope.
Next.
Nah, for me, I pick it up just because it's Gunslinger Spawn. I'm not even lying to you. Look at it. Go back to it. He's riding on a motherfucking buffalo, bro. Can't say that's not badass.
Hey,
I'd buy
get
it.
Black
What
Panther,
title is-
the last issue. You get
What
the
title is
Buffalo,
that?
you're good.
What title is that for?
I'm not
Buffalo
sure.
Soldier.
I don't even have any idea, bro.
Okay.
Something is killing the children.
This is the Image. That's Boo.
Like, these are terrible. Every single one of these.
That one's terrible. Terrible.
Hell to pay. You got
Maybe.
that.
That's a maybe.
I wouldn't buy a single one of these yet.
That's sweet.
Spawn
That's
Hinge.
pretty good. That's
What?
pretty
Pretty
nice.
dope, yeah.
No.
Nah.
Oh, good lord. Say it ain't
What
so.
the hell is that?
Look at how
No.
he's standing. Like, what is that? A
Looks like he's
chip?
trying to take a shit.
Why don't we
bro.
let JR draw all these?
Holy shit.
I like that one.
No, that was cool.
Nope.
That's.
Nah.
I like that.
That's okay.
Nope.
No.
Maybe if I was a wrestling fan, maybe.
Yo, that if nobody's ever actually checked out Do a Powerbomb, do yourselves a favor and go check it out.
Yeah,
That shit's actually one of the few fucking legit indie titles that's actually worth the damn time. I was surprised at the damn writing in that book.
I love that he had. Go back one. I did. I just saw it. He has Wanda tattooed across his chest. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not a fan of this one.
Oh, that's a pass.
Maybe.
Oh, not another.
No.
I guarantee you that one's gonna be a hot seller just because.
Oh, yeah.
Good Lord.
No, definitely no.
No.
I like Ice Cream Man, but not that much.
I like that.
Is that Maria Wolf? I like Maria Wolf.
I like that.
What's the Whatnot
I'm not-
exclusive gonna have?
Right? That's terrible right there.
What
That
the
is
fuck
garbage.
is that?
And this is only 20 of them. That's 8 billion.
What
genies.
the fuck, bro?
I
They're
like-
putting
I like that
Spawn on
cover.
every book, bro.
Yeah. I like
he's
the
on-
genie
he's on-
right there.
He's on every image. It's every
They
image.
should have just done that genie. They shouldn't have put him in there. It should have just been the genie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. But it makes sense because everybody gets a genie.
Hey, see,
So-
that one's not bad.
Yeah, it's
No,
just
it's
like
pretty
it's a
bad.
McFarlane. It's a McFarlane homage. Pass.
Yeah, it's not good.
Pass.
It's not bad.
Damn, yo,
It's
these are
not
kind
good.
of fucking
Yeah.
awful,
That's
man.
the first 20, you guys. That is the first 20.
That's the
And-
first
Those are the
20. There's
best
ones.
more.
Wow.
Stop it.
And those are
Shit,
there was
blood's
not-
coming out of my eyes from looking at that shit.
That's
There's
all.
not a
It's not like McFarlane or Capullo or one of those guys. It's just. It's not very good.
One
I'm
of
kinda
those is
interested-
going to be a glow in the dark watch.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of interested to see what the
When you
the
light him on
Mart-
fire, it will.
what the Martin Simmons one looks like that he's doing for the Department of Truth.
That was good, man.
This
He
is
lighted
a,
it on
Who the
fire.
fuck wants this book?
this is a
Holy
really
crap.
good gelato right here. This is a Blade 1 in 25 incentive for Blade Vampire Nation #1 Del Auto. Look at this. I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't mind it.
Is it a ratio variant?
Yeah, 1 in 25 incentive.
Damn.
Yeah. And then look at this. G.I. Joe. This is the final G.I. Joe cover. It is the.
At least it's not the John Royal.
So
where's Waldo?
I mean, you guys.
They've got 5 covers. They're all $6.99, I believe. This is the Where's Red Hood cover.
Yeah.
Hey, I see Zartan, bro.
Bro.
You found yourself
right there. He is down on the second row, standing up. He's about the 6th from the left.
Here's all the ninjas. Remember when they came out with the ninja, the ninja
Force?
group? Yeah, Ninja Force. There's all they're all standing together.
Where's the refrigerator at, dude?
Let's find them. Look at Bazooka. How big is Bazooka? Holy
Dude,
shit! Look at
He's the biggest one in the fucking crowd.
Yeah, I didn't know Bazooka was that big. All right, where is the fridge? He's got to be on here, right?
I was hearing Alpine carried him off that damn mountain. Holy mackerel!
All right, let's see here.
Oh, there's Snow Job.
I wonder if they can even reprint the fridge.
Is this a regular or is this an incentive?
No, it's regular. John Royal's got the incentive.
Okay.
So he's got the. So he did for $2.99. He did the Cobra, kind of the Cobra Commander with a lot of faces. He's doing the same thing with the GI Joes.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, the Royal covers have been spot on every time.
Yeah,
I don't see the fridge at all.
Neither do I.
I think Brian, you said it really could be because Sergeant Slaughter's on there. There may be something about rights on the fridge.
There's Slaughter. There's the what do they
He'd
call
be a little
them?
more predominant if he was on there because like even Slaughter is a little bit bigger.
Marauders. The Slaughters Marauders are behind
Mhm.
them. Man, I just love looking at all the Joes like this. I love these type of covers and stuff. Seeing all your favorite Joes. Love all the Dreadnought. There's I love these what do they call these?
Firebat pilot, the AVAC pilot?
The Firebat Viper pilots,
Mhm.
yeah.
I just
That-
love Baroness. She reminds me of all my ex-girlfriends in one. That girl.
I think you mean Grunt.
We could hang out. Me and that girl.
I always loved the Hydro Viper, man. The Hydro Viper was such a badass
Oh, yeah.
character with the face mask.
Do they ever put Sergeant Slaughter on any of these?
He's right there.
here.
Oh, I say okay. I'm like they're fucking looking for this dude.
Yeah, the only person I don't
He should
see
be like
is
the way they made Bazooka. I can't figure out
Yeah,
why
for
Bazooka
real.
is so big.
Shockwave,
And Alpine's so small.
Hit and Run. Yeah, the only one I don't see is the fridge. He's got to be on here. So Rampart. I always love Rampart. How you put his gun on.
You know what would have been funny is if they didn't have the rights to actually do them. So, like in the far back upright corner, they just had an actual fridge, like
well,
a
look, they got all the
refrigerator.
animals up here.
That shit would have been funny.
Yeah, they got
There's all the
Eagly from the
dogs.
Peacemaker.
They had the, yep.
The alligator. So all the
And they got
animals.
Order
Where's the
for
scorpion?
Law and Order
Yeah.
and Freedom.
The scorpion from the Scorpion Viper, Desert Viper. Remember that?
yeah,
big
Desert-
black scorpion that they had? Where's the shark too in the killer whale? I love how they have the Crimson Guard without the helmet on up here. Who's this
So when
guy?
I saw Timax, so when I
This
grew
guy,
up with Timax and Zaman, I always wanted a twin just because I
Who is
wanted to see
that?
if like, it was really
Is that
true.
the
If he
Gimp?
hit somebody.
Is that the Gimp?
They slid some Pulp
Gimp
Fiction
sleeping.
action here.
And remember this guy, the drug dealer guy right here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, dude, I don't know who that is. Anybody in the chat, big GI Joe fans? Who is that?
There's Dr. Venom.
Two of them.
Zoot suit.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, look at these over here. Here's the Action Force
Fucking
guys.
Put the lotion in the basket right there.
Yeah. Here's remember Pythona? They didn't make a figure
Yeah.
for her forever until
Which was crazy. How they never
Yeah.
did that. They did it for the Collectors Club, I think.
Who's that dark side looking fucking guy?
Hard Master and those
right
guys.
here.
Soft Master.
Yeah, that one right there. Look just like
He's a
dark side.
pilot with a Stratoviper. Is that the Stratoviper? I can't remember. Oh man, this is cool right here. Frag
That is
Viper,
pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Python Patrol.
Metalhead.
Here's one of the best.
Alley
the
Viper.
Yeah. Ice Cream Viper. Remember the ice cream one?
How many
Man.
of these covers now are you gonna say? Like, is Star Wars gonna bang out one of these damn things?
It
And is
should.
You know,
they were smart.
I thought there would actually be a lot more, exclusives, or I thought people would do some. But I haven't really seen any. I haven't gotten any emails about them, so I think they're the covers they've got, like the 4 covers they've got, or whatever it is, and that's it. Which would be good.
I can't wait for the new ones, man.
The story is. I'll be honest. It is. They picked it back up at 156, I think, back in 2011, and it's been brutal.
Yeah.
All the way up to 300. The story hasn't, like, Larry Hama he hasn't changed from the damn first 10 issues with Dr. Venom and the trying to steal sound or Snake Eyes is the Brave Wing scanner. It's just the worst story. The only thing that makes it worth picking up is the John Royal variants. That is.
Yeah, I agree.
Python Patrol?
Yeah, there's Python Patrol here. Right here. Right there.
Okay.
That's the Televiper,
Yeah,
Python Patrol.
Televiper. Yep.
I mean, they basically have everybody here. It's pretty damn cool, other than the fridge. It's the only one I don't see. And
Justin Shannon is Justin Shannon Action Force from the UK.
Yeah, these
is
are
that
Action
those two
Force
dudes.
right here.
That's those guys. Oh, okay. Nobody knows who the bondage guys are, huh?
Yeah, I don't know who the bondage guy is.
Look, there's a Tin Man.
Well, there's 2 of them. There's
Yeah.
2 bondage dudes.
Look at this. What is this?
Because there's the Russian team.
Yeah, the Russian. Who are these people?
I don't know who the Tin Man and the girl dressed up as the lion are.
I think there's some Joes in there. Like, I'd be funny if they have like the Superman Joe in here. You know, the one that they made Superman.
Yeah. That's why I was trying to look at the ones that they made up. Like, you just send off for the figure to see if they were in here.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
is he lost? Oh,
Captain
James.
Gridiron.
Yeah,
Israel and Tanya lost.
Yeah, they fucking got. Yep, they stopped the fight.
Where's Big? You know who I don't see? I don't see Big Lob.
Oh yeah, he's here. He's right here.
I love Big Lob.
Right there.
Izzy Aransanya lost.
James
You know,
White
not-
still
Not
hasn't
Big Lob.
seen
Big
James.
Lob from the movie. He's got the basketball.
Oh
jersey.
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Big
Hold on, I saw him. Let me see here. Oh, that's kind of crazy that Adesanya lost.
Oh, he
Yeah,
lost?
he was
there's
getting
Big
getting
Lob. Yeah,
fucking
you're right.
nailed
Yeah,
with
he's
lefts and rights right now.
Yep. Big Lob's right there beside on Slaughter's right beside Mercer.
There.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Yeah, man.
You know, I think the guy Adesanya, that's the only time he's lost before, right? Same guy.
It's Adesanya.
What's up,
Yeah.
Mighty Mel V?
Yeah.
Well, shit,
Yeah.
they'll let anybody in around here.
Yeah. What up, Mel? How you doing, brother?
I'm all right. We got my man Thorough up in here, got Zartan up in here, Andy and shit. Got Big.
How was
You
your
got
sale, dude?
It was
Going
good.
well?
It was good. You got bids and New Yorkers and fucking all kind of shit going on, man. What's going on, big? Let me fix my mic. Hold on. It sounds
We
good.
are going to jump through the Instagram segment for this week. Let's start going through some of the cool Instagram art and interesting stuff that I saw over this week. You guys know I love to, show
Huh.
some art and stuff.
Real quick. Shout out to Nate. I'm sorry I see you, brother. I say hello to you, and shout out to my man Josh. And I'm good. Let's do it.
All right, so you guys, we had Sean from Living the Line publisher Living the Line come on, who did Abolition of Man, the AI comic. It was great conversation, and we kind of talked about walking that fine line because when they first saw the AI stuff, they're like, "Oh, this is our jobs are done," right? And they're like, "Well, let's lean into it." So this is interesting. This right here is Boss Logic talking about just that. So here we go.
It's like it's crazy. You just write something and something pops up. But my question is though, if it gets regulated and everything on it is not artist related, it's all copyright free and all that sort of stuff, do we accept it as an art form, a genre? No, because the traditionalists accepted us at one point.
I love that he asked that and how he talked about it, right? Because he stepped outside of himself, right? And he said, "Hey, if we don't accept this, we got to look back when traditional artists accepted us graphic design artists as traditional art, right? There was a long period of time where a lot of real, quote unquote, real artists didn't accept graphic design artists and digital artists as real artists. They do now, and that's happened. And I love how he does that. He's able to step outside of himself and say, well, they accepted us at one point, right? And if they never accepted it for us, where would we be? I think that's fascinating to have him do that.
Can we accept this next question? I just asked.
And I also, again, I love the fact that he's just asking it. Like, he doesn't know the answer, but he's bringing it up for conversation. It's very interesting to see artists do that, because I think artists have the right to be worried about that, you know, especially artists that put in a lot of work in their art, when now you can just put in a sentence, right? And you can create amazing stuff like this, right? Look how beautiful some of this art is. This is Chris Perna. He uses all Midjourney. You know, there's multiple ones, but this is Midjourney right here. And look at some of this art, dude. This is crazy. This guy is badass. He posts some badass stuff. So, I mean, look at this.
That's dope.
What did he write to get this?
I don't know.
All right, through searching the internet, I figured out who one of the bondage G.I. Joe characters was.
Oh, yeah?
Crispo Payne.
Crispo Payne. Thank you.
Okay.
That's interesting. I've never heard of that
Crispo
character.
Payne?
Yeah. CRISPOPAINE. So that's the masked dude without a shirt.
Dude, that's sick.
What?
We were looking at G.I. Joe. Look at that. Oh my god.
That's sick.
Yeah. And I mean, this guy doesn't stop. Like look at this. This is amazing too.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Dark Angels. He says Dark Angels quotes exploring a bit more artistic feel to these today. So look at these. I guess Dark Angels is one of the words that he used.
I would have to eat so much acid to like even think of the words to put in to bring this out.
Yeah, I'm stuck on cat playing with balls. Like, motherfucker put Dark Angels. What the fuck wrong with him, man?
Look at that.
Look at that. Oh, that's wicked bad.
This one's amazing.
Yeah, that's sweet.
This is like tattoo material. I mean, are they next? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. A lot of the AI art is. You're right, Mel. It's gonna turn into tattoo stuff.
That should be a Spawn variant right there.
Look at this.
Nah, man, yeah, just fucking with hell right now. Just you showing me this shit and shit you was talking about last night about DMT and all. Yeah, this is you go to hell. This is intro to hell 101, man.
This feels like hell right here, man. This feels like Dante's Inferno, like level 6 of hell right here. You know?
Yeah,
I mean, badass.
Like what? The guy who typed. What is this?
Yeah, this is Victorian Nightmares Weird Tales using Midjourney's new algorithm. Look at these. Look like old photos, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy. How do you get into this Midjourney shit?
It's you get invited by somebody who's already there. Somebody will send you an invite. Hey, you guys, if you send Mel an invite to Midjourney, I think it's Discord.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Please.
Ooh.
He's gonna get like 50 messages right now.
I know. I love how they look like old photos.
I love how you could see through that mask. There wasn't any face.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? Like it was nothing was there.
Yeah, and this is crazy.
Look
Can
at
you
that.
can you go to Midjourney now?
I think so. Hold on.
Do you have it? Let's play with this shit.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see here. I think I have it. Let me bring up my Discord.
How long does it take to generate?
Seconds.
That's like some Nicholas Tesla type of shit right there.
Yeah. Hold on here. Let me do this here.
This feels like the dark web.
It's not.
That's crazy. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I got to start playing more with AI art.
No, I don't have it on this one right here. I have to log into a different one.
I
Which
did it.
don't.
They have a lot of freaking apps, but you got to pay for them.
Yeah,
'Cause I
Midjourney you don't have
did
to
a
pay
little-
for. So send me
yeah, I
an
did a
invite
little
for
trial.
Midjourney also.
Yeah.
I need a new one.
I did a little trial on one, and I just put in "End of the World," and they literally fucking drew a bunch of robots and just like an army of them. I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Yeah, let me log off.
Yeah.
Is Midjourney like the best one, or is
Yeah,
something...
it's the one that I think works the best. It's got the best algorithm right now, so it works very well. So I love it. I love it a lot. This right here looks AI, but I don't think it is. This is Lord Bobasaurus. It says updated with watermark. So I don't think this is Midjourney, but this is a badass like Star Wars Mandalorian style with like samurai. You know, because a lot of Star Wars armor and stuff was samurai influenced. You know,
Isn't
those,
that
like-
the action figure series
Yes.
that they came out with?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It looks like those like Hasbro samurai Star Wars action figures.
Yeah, the 1/16th version.
Yeah.
No,
Or
I don't know. Is
I
it?
can't remember what size they were.
Yeah. Fantastic collection of shots, although I'm not a fan of watermarks of futile exercise. Yeah, maybe it is. I didn't know. I didn't know if it was.
It's super dope.
Yeah, it is awesome.
I swear that's the Stormtrooper, and they had like 2 or 3 versions of Boba Fett that were all samurai.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
That's
yeah, they have a Vader and all kinds.
I want
of
this. If this is a
Yeah,
figure,
that's what I'm saying. Is this a toy? Like, where's my wallet? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I want to say Hasbro had these.
Ooh,
that's crazy.
I think some of these are custom. Like if that's out there, I gotta get this. If this is out there, I gotta have this, man.
Right.
Some of these have to be custom.
Yeah, I'm sure they are, because they never had a Mando, but maybe they're gonna release
Look at
one.
that Wolverine.
Come
They should.
on, bro. I think that might be a toy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think they're custom. Ooh,
I don't know who that is. Who's that supposed to be? Who's that supposed to be?
I don't know. It says
I think
here,
they're anime.
Lord Bobasaurus. This is the guy who creates these. Let's see what he says here. Dramatic toy photography. So yeah, it's
Yep.
custom toys that he takes that he adds stuff to.
there's-
Like look at that, dude.
They're not just like custom versions of these.
What?
Like some
Yeah.
of these.
Yeah,
the
they're-
Hasbro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're customs of those.
They're
Yeah.
customs of those. Yeah, where he's
Okay.
adding stuff to them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Man, this guy's badass. It's like you know what this is? This is Big Trouble in Little China, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Go back to the little pen. Oh no, that's Raiden. Oh
Yeah.
Raiden.
This guy's good. So go follow him. He does all this art. Lord Bobasaurus. Ooh, that's a great. I love that toy. I've always loved that toy. I got to get those. So good stuff. Lord Bobasaurus. Check him out. All right, off of the AI art. This is a different form of artist. This is another custom toy maker. He goes by Hence the Meat Official, and he does all these crazy toys. This is a turtle toy that he did. Machine Gun Mike the Butcher. He's got a Griselda shirt on. I mean, that's crazy. Look at some of these other ones that he's done, man. This is crazy. All right, these are like just little finger toys that he does.
Mouth jewels. That's funny.
Hold on here. Yeah, you can see all the ones that he does.
Are you familiar with who Griselda is?
Yeah, the Griselda Blanco.
No, it's a rap group.
Yeah. I didn't know that. No.
They're pretty fucking good. I believe they're from Buffalo. Buffalo.
One of the best fucking rap groups right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I gotta check them out. Turtles Combat, Kid from 3030, Deadpool Secret Wars. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? Wu-Tang Foot Clan.
Did you see the first one was the Bumblebee Man, and it was like a Wu-Tang?
SpongeBob. Yeah, that shit's cool, man. I like creative people. I'm into that shit, man. So yeah, go check them out. Hence the Meat Official. All right, next we have some comic artists. This is Mario Chavez, I believe is his name, and he is a great artist. Look at this, Harley Quinn. You can find it on his eBay. He goes by M Chavez Art. Mario Chavez is his name, but man, that is badass right there. It's a beautiful heart. Let's see what else his other stuff looks like. Ooh, I like it.
Wow.
I like this guy a lot. I love for the original stuff. Yeah, this guy's good. We can see this guy showing up on some covers and some sketchbooks pretty soon. Go check him out. Mario Chavez. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. That dog was incredible. Gee, that looked like a photo.
Yeah.
That wasn't real. That dog wasn't real.
Yeah, this guy's badass. I like this guy. Go check him out, Mario Chavez. You guys remember the amazing Nat Jones Garbage Pail Kids cover that Solo Wookie picked up for me from the comic store here in Arizona? This is another Nat. Yeah, this is Nat Jones art. Hey guys, do you like my Garbage Pail Kids? This original art is up for auction on eBay and ends in a couple hours. It's probably already done. I don't know how much it went for, but man, that is awesome.
Was it Evil Ernie or some shit like that, right?
No, Dead Ted, Evil Eddie, right?
Evil Eddie.
Yeah.
Evil Eddie.
Yeah. Another great cover art right here. This is from Nick Barucci, and I guess Nick Barucci, aka Dynamite Publishing, Dynamic Forces. Nick Barucci has an original art experience show that he was doing, I guess, and he showed off this Gil Kane, Mike Esposito Submariner number 43 cover from 1971. And I just thought it looked badass. It's really cool to see the pen and ink of the old covers. See how they did old covers and just how different it was. And I love the fact, that you can buy these old covers like this. So be on the lookout for them. This guy's name right here is Mark Ratz, and check that out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dope.
That's pretty amazing. So this guy is pretty good. Look at his Andor sketch cover.
Shout out. There is a group on the internet, and they review the Andor, and they have the best name in the world. It's no ifs and or buts.
Yeah, this guy's pretty good, man. He does a really good job.
Question, real quick, Solo. You are the Star Wars guy. And McClay too. How was Andor? Real quick before we continue.
McClay doesn't like it. I love it.
Slow.
Yeah, I thought it was slow.
It's it's every 3 episodes is pretty much one arc, and it does build up and gives you a lot of the details. So a lot of people, unless you're deep diving or you're really into Star Wars and you geek out a lot about just backstory, it's not for common watchers. But if you really, really like that deep storyline, and it is slow, there was parts of Game of Thrones that were really slow, but they were building that deep storyline. They were building that character development and explaining why bad guys were bad, good guys were good. And they're doing a ton of that. So for me, I freaking love it, man. I'm head over heels on it. I won't even lie.
That's awesome right there.
It definitely, you got 2 slow builds, and then they hit you in the face with some action.
That's my wife probably won't like it.
No, my girlfriend quit. She hates it.
Nat Jones, this guy's badass, you guys. I'm really stoked to see what this guy's got coming. All right, one more interesting piece. This is Chris Stevens. Chris Stevens illustrator. Look at this Galactus, man.
Oh, that's amazing.
Look at that color. Art, just beautiful.
What do you think, Andy? You've been watching it too, haven't you? You're enjoying it, aren't you?
Andy's a Star Wars guy too.
Yeah, we've really been in. We like where they're going with it. I just kind of wish we had more. Honestly, that's how I kind of feel. A lot. I could use more of it. Feels like they're trying to do a lot with what they have.
I thought they were doing a second. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they are doing a second season, but I want more. I want more crammed into the first season, like a longer first season. We got 12 episodes, but I don't know. There's just so many good things that can come of this.
So I think the second season, the way they're going to space it out is that there are time lapses over the second season for every 3 episodes is 3 years, and then like the final is like 1 year. So it leads you up into Rogue One.
Yeah, I heard the first season of 12 episodes was 12 months, a year. And then the second season, every 3 episode arc was going to be a year. So I heard there was going to be like a 4-year span in the second season. I don't know if maybe it was supposed to be 3 in each arc, but I had heard 4. Or
the one thing I would say is like if you want, because I know most people always kind of skim past the credits and stuff, but if you actually watch, the one part I like is that how Endor introduces itself every time, and you can see how they make it into what looks like the rebellion sign. And if you listen almost every episode, they introduce more instruments, strings and percussion, and it gets faster with the music. So there's little things like that, little subtleties. I think that's, to me, like the part that's the best thing about the series. It's subtleties and the way it introduces things, and like how eventually it just builds to the grand finale.
Dude, this guy's badass, man. Chris Stevens, go check him out. Retailers. This dude is amazing. Holy shit. All right, and finally, a cosplayer. Let's throw a cosplayer on there. This is my favorite Juggernaut cosplayer.
Oh, that is dope. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is badass. I love me some Juggernaut.
And then to end it all, tie it up in a bow with one last Chris Perna AI art that will just creep you out. Garden of Delights is what this is called.
What the fuck is delightful about that?
Oh, she can't yell back at you. That's one good point.
Just look into art history picture or paintings of Garden of Delights. Some of that stuff will freak you out.
The Garden of Earthly Delights, Hieronymus Bosch.
Yep.
I'm good, man.
So yeah, there you go. McClay knows what I'm talking about. It's like the first surrealist painting that was done in Renaissance time.
Yeah, 1400s. All right, Nate, you still here?
Ooh.
This is a sale. AFA 85 sold. Early bird kit. 15 grand.
Whoa. Shit. Ouch. You're on mute, Nate.
You're on mute, Nate.
You're on mute, Nate. Damn, that is.
I was hoping you were gonna let me guess the price before you did it. That's fair. That's a very, very actually for an 85. I think you probably got a pretty good value.
Yeah.
Are you bidding on that lot of like 400 warehouse?
It's one of those things where it gets into, if you're in the auctions, you have to pay the 20% premium and stuff like that, and the taxes, and you're talking like it's 20, but there aren't many. And an 85, I mean, because I can't imagine seeing an 85 plus, like an 85 plus or anything along those lines would have. I mean, it would be incredible because, like, the double telescoping. And we've talked about this with Luke and Darth and Obi-Wan. The Luke is more prominent because of that very thing, but an 85, that whole set, the white tray, everything about it. I'm telling you, I think 15 is a really good price.
Yeah, it's a fair price all day.
Crazy.
I'm just saying, I ain't got no 15.
I would pay 15,000 of Aaron's money, or Brian's money, or Solo's, or Josh's money, Andy's money, or Mel's got so much money. I'd probably pay 45. But I would definitely. I think 15. I'm telling you,
we just look at
it's
your wall and
good.
you're like, are we sure you want to spend our money?
If I had the money, I'd be in at the 20 to 25 mark on that all day.
I'm dying to have a double telescoping Luke. I just don't have it.
I have the figure. I just don't have the lightsaber.
Yeah. We keyed in on a great IG account called Key Manga Collector in our most recent Manga Time segment. And I want to jump back in and show something that he put out recently. And Josh, you'll be interested in this. Did you see this? For the past year or so, someone was selling fake copies of Shonen Jump 1984-51 First Dragon Ball on Mercari, Japan. It looks like they finally arrested the guy. Apparently, it was a 50-year-old executive that had a side hustle of faking books.
Interesting.
So, if you bought any Shonen Jump first appearance is on Mercari, Japan, you might want to take a double take and take a look at those. So.
As Josh is typing through and emailing some people right now.
No, I don't know. I don't own that book.
I was just messing with you, man.
Yeah, that's crazy though. I had heard I know people that collect manga and stuff like that, and they always said that there's fakes out there and stuff like that, and you got to be really careful what you buy. And I'm like, well, how do I know if it's fake or not?
Yeah.
Like how do they know? How can...
Oh, you know, you could tell by paper quality, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, probably the age of paper and stuff like that would probably be a telltale sign. And then if you sit it next to a authentic one versus the fake one, there's probably subtle differences.
All right, let's run through pickups and call it a night. You guys, we're at the 3-hour mark. Who wants to go first?
Ooh, I'll go ahead and go real quick.
All right.
I don't have too many. One thing I did want to show off. This isn't a pickup, but I've had this in my collection before I was even a YouTuber.
Oh, nice.
Such a great cover.
Yeah, so this is Batman Adventures 3. This is signed by Kevin Conroy.
Oh,
so I got to meet him.
You should go last.
Yes.
Oh. you should also sleep with one eye open because I know where you're at, buddy.
Yeah. So I mean, and then the reason why I picked this cover because Mark Hamill was at that convention as well, and I was gonna have him sign it also. His line for autographs and all that stuff like filled up way too fast. Like I was like 5 people away from actually getting an autograph.
You'll get another chance with Hamill.
Yeah, with Hamill, but it's only like $300, for a signature or whatever. I think
worth it on that book, man. It'd be worth it on that book.
Yeah, I think I ended up buying like a What If Venom possessed Deadpool instead, raw, for like $200 instead of the autograph money. I got a few of these beautiful Momokos.
Nice. Those are pretty.
Yeah, so I like how it has like the full art on it.
I do like that cover.
Yeah, it was from the IDW website. As far as cards, I did pick up a bunch of these recently. These Prism Cello packs. These are 5 right here, but I'll probably rip a couple of these at some point in time. Probably live on IG. I'm not gonna take up my time here doing that, but yeah. And I have some stuff that still needs to be unboxed, but we'll save that for next week.
All right, who's up next?
I'll run through my stuff really quick. It's all just manga stuff. So Shonen Jump 25, 1985. This is the first appearance of Krillin from Dragon Ball. So I picked that up. And then we got Shonen Jump 13 from 1987. This is your first appearance of Tien.
Hey, question, Josh. Can you track down any Shonen Jump you want? I want to. I had a Shonen Jump first appearance of Monster Hunter, and it got messed up when we had that big storm. I want to get that again if you come across it.
Yeah, send me a picture of what it looks like.
Okay.
Shonen Jump 46 from 1988. This is first appearance of Gohan. And then we got Shonen Jump 30 from 1991. This is your first appearance of Future Trunks. And then we got Shonen Jump 49 from 1991. This is your first appearance of Android 17 and 18. And then we got this guy. This is Shonen Jump 11 from 1992. This is your first appearance of Cell. And then, let's see what else. I got this. So this is the big boy. This is the Shonen Jump 50. This is the preview of Dragon Ball. So this is obviously the issue before 51. So this has let's see, open it up real quick. So this has the little preview page for the next issue. So you got your Goku, Shenron, Bulma. So yeah, those were my pickups. I went a little manga crazy. I hadn't done that in a while.
That's pretty badass, bro. Not bad. Not bad. All right, Nate, you got pickups?
Yep, a few things. I think it's just we're talking about the John Royal stuff. So if anybody remembers how like the original G.I. Joe run ended at like especially when you got like 140, they really started dissipating to 155, like how hard it was to get. So I really tried to work hard on picking up the variant going into like 298, 299, 300. So this is the John Royal variant for 298. Snake Eyes, Scarlet, and Ripcord are on there. And 299 is Cobra. So Cobra Commander, and then basically all the bad guys, the classics. So the final 300 will be G.I. Joe, basically the exact same way. I can't remember if it's Duke or Hawk, but everybody else on that front. On the action figure side, I don't know if you guys were ever a big fan of Visionaries, so I'm trying to get, they're only, I think, 12 figures, but so I got Sindar. I'm trying to get Crytek right now. I loved Sindar. I mean, he was one of my favorites.
God, it's been years since I've seen those. I forgot all about those.
Love the Visionaries. The art was great. The story, I love the story. Yeah. So there aren't that many, figures to get, so it makes it really, really easy. So 2 down and I guess like 8 to go, but slowly but surely pick these up. Actually, the favorite thing I got was, so I think if people love Thundercats, which I think most people do, but I was always a big Silverhawks guy. I think the Silverhawks had the best bad guy lineup with Monstar, Buzzsaw, Mumbo Jumbo, Hardware, Windhammer, all these guys. So I actually found an original Monstar still sealed. And I don't know if you guys remember, but if you actually pulled his legs, his head would come down, his chest would open up, and the other head would come up. So I'm still waiting to get my Super 7, the new issues from Silverhawk. So hopefully they'll come at some point, but because they've taken money for the first 3 phases and no figures to come out yet. So they're like Hasbro, but even slower.
Silverhawks are so underrated, bro.
Buddy, that song is fantastic. Silverhawks. And then one last thing for all the card guys.
Oh man.
Not so. So if anybody wants to get some gum, I've got 36 pieces of gum ready to go.
Oh, sweet. I'm coming over tomorrow.
Hey, Nate, I still have that Illus Illuminati book for you, the Turtles book that you wanted.
I didn't want to bug you about it. I was gonna shoot you a note just whenever.
I got it. It's in the corner over there.
Well, I know who you are. You're a man of your word, so I knew I didn't need to bug you about it.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to see what the Galactus HasLab looks like, that's
nice.
it back there. Cool. Thing is huge too. I mean, like,
that's cool.
It does not do justice. The thing is,
how much was it? I remember they were talking about it on Drunken Chat actually.
I think
That's
it was
not bad for
$450.
Oh,
I think
$450.
No, I'm sorry.
I thought there were $250.
I think it was more than that. It's been.
I
The
thought-
problem is, it's been so long. It's hard to remember exactly what the price is. I remember the Sky Striker was $229. I feel like in the
I wanna say it
Sentinel,
was-
I feel like it was $229 too. Maybe this was.
I thought it was in
Maybe
like the
it was
300
$250.
range. I thought it was in
Maybe
the
it was
$300
$250.
range.
Yeah.
Is this the same thing with that Ghost Rider with the car?
Yeah, it didn't break it. It hit half, and then when they did one of their Hasbro Pulse. The thing came down like 40%. Like they did not do the tiers right, kind of like the Rancor. They just, but at least with the Rancor, I will say that they actually hit it, but it was after midnight. This never got past like 55% with the Ghost Lab or the Ghost Rider HasLab. They butchered it. They made the tiers. The 350 starting point was complete. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's right. I think this was cheaper. I was like, how is this cheaper and the Sentinel cheaper? And they're the big ones, and you get 3 figures with this with the tiers.
Right.
And yeah, they. I don't think Hasbro has like anyone who understands
Knows
price
what the hell they're
elasticity. Yeah, because they actually did on their earnings call where they were all just talking about like how we're going to do 50% margins and all about the margin rate. And they have the vintage figures now for $17 on the new figures. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. Like, and now they don't do the plastic packaging. Like,
nope, it's terrible.
Who wants them?
You and I could take over that division and sell and make them 3 times what they're making now. They're. I feel bad because they're having
I
a
don't
real.
feel bad. They can just rot in hell. And by the way, Aaron, thank you.
You're welcome.
Big shout out to the man.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Question: before I came on, will you guys talk about the James Sullivan, the last issue of G.I. Joe?
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Yeah. Oh, I was just because I went crazy on that. I ordered like 200 copies.
Because they're Mel, right? Because they're $6.99, and I want to say there are 5 covers.
Yeah,
is that right?
Some crazy shit. It was a bad decision, but
you're about to have a long box full.
I think I ordered 50
yet
of them,
to be
so
seen.
I'm with you.
that's
how I got these. I've been doing 50 of each of the final.
Yeah. I wanted 2 of that James Sullivan variant. I was like, what the fuck am I doing 200? But they seem to be selling okay. Am I gonna move to another book? No. What? Am I gonna give them away? Probably.
Yeah, you got giveaways, and you can gift them or auction.
Ain't that much goddamn giveaway in the world.
Well, it's the last issue of a series too, as well. Before it crosses over to something else, like
I'm gonna
a good writer.
Put it in the garage with the other shit.
The put in the forget about this box,
right?
And then
and Punisher with the fucking logo on his chest.
Mel, put it in there with all your Yankee shit.
I have nothing to say.
In 20 years, they'll be worth a fortune, just like Jim Lee X-Men ones.
Bro, I don't know if I have 20 years, bro.
Who wants to go next?
We're dead.
Anybody else got pickups?
Oh, I got a ton.
I got one. Hold on, let me go get it. I finally opened up.
Andy looks like he's got one in his hand.
Yep, just the one recently, with some price correction going on. Darth Vader 4 still kind of like overlooked a fair bit. The Gillen run. This is the second appearance of Dr. Aphra, and this is the second printing. CGC 98 picked this up for $38.
Wow,
dang!
That's literally
like
the cost. Like literally the cost of grading and shipping, and then the cost of the book. So almost pretty much at cost minus I think like the eBay shipping fee or something like that. And now I don't even have to get it graded. I didn't have a copy of the second printing, and I'm a massive Dr. Aphra fan. Like I know a lot of people
can't believe how cheap the Aphra books are right now. I mean, like besides this one, like the 125. Like I saw it the other day. I'm like, it can't be right. I'm missing something.
So I'm really excited for 2023 and where that's going to go and where YouTube content can potentially go and where my content will potentially go, paying attention to a lot of this kind of stuff, because Dr. Aphra is getting cheap and somebody's got to get credit for all those relics in Andor. I mean, come on, like,
yeah.
I mean, the
Absolutely.
timeline's not incredibly perfect, but I mean, like, I feel like they're setting something up, and my fingers are crossed.
Hey,
but-
Andy, these past like 8 books for Aphra, when they start, I mean, like, I feel like all these are the ones, like, if you can get them in the dollar bins when people start selling, like, these are the ones that, there's a lot of like Aphra books, but I love like the story that line they've got, like all these artifacts. I'm like, and
who was Dr. Aphra's father?
I gotta think.
What was first appearance of
Annual.
her father or mother?
The annual.
The annual was that first appearance of her father. Her first appearance of her mother was in what, issue 2 or 3?
Well, there you go. That's suspect, because you said if Andor takes place before Aphra, somebody had to collect those artifacts. You have her father or her mother.
Yeah, no, I think she
rebelled
rebelled against her family, and she was the artifact collector, not so much necessarily her family.
Well, there goes that.
Well, her dad was professor, right?
Yeah,
Mr. Dr. Jones.
Yeah.
So
No time
I always
for
thought
love,
about her
Dr.
dad
Jones.
more than mom, but there's a lot in that world, man. There really is.
Mel, man, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, and
I'm not right either. I don't know shit about Star Wars. I'm just throwing.
And the thing is, they could introduce Domina Tag coming into Aphra. I'm like, the tag thing to me, Domina Tag is the one who's underrated. That
This
is
is
the
why-
one.
Like there's a lot of doom and gloom that's been going around in the comic book community the last several months, and I'm very excited to stand here and say, like, I'm planning content, and I hope others are too, that it's not doom and gloom. There's a lot of excitement going around because a lot of really cool books are getting affordable or back to where they should be, so we can rebuild our core not just rebuild, but like keep adding to our core collections. It's not just about buying, flipping, and selling. There's a big chunk of personal collecting that some of us are really fucking excited about.
Yeah.
Part of that's Aphra
hunt the
becoming more
deals.
affordable.
Hunt the deals, baby.
You're right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Good stuff. All right, Mel, you want to go, or Solo, you want to go next?
Oh, sure. I'll go. Got this from Brian.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
I've been trying to get one of those for a while. I'm kind of a sucker for triple sigs. So when Brian put that up, ooh, I had,
that's very
had
cool.
to get it.
A Ken Golden book right there, you guys.
Yeah, I think I'll probably have to grade that one. I'll have to press it, clean it, grade it. God, I do love this cover. Yeah. I got that from Brian. I got a ton from Brian.
That should be a song.
Is that the Dark Knight Metal?
Going out tomorrow, brother. Or Monday. The Garbage Pail Kids went to a different order, which is weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
I picked this up just because, I mean, Molly Hatchet, man. Molly freaking Hatchet.
I'm surprised there's a horse strong enough to hold a Hulk.
Right? He's a good horse.
Jennifer Walters is her name. That's a great cover. J. Scott Campbell.
Had to get that one.
Yep.
Had to get a second one of these.
Oh,
Thanks for coming, folks.
Jesus, where'd you get these?
Brian's freaking sale, man. I love it. And don't go jumping in on his sales because I can't afford it every time you guys go in there and bid me up, man. I can't do it. It took all I had to buy these.
Oh, those are great.
Yeah, I mean, and they're pretty clean, pretty good
Yeah, they look
condition.
I sold like
some
40
Spideys.
Todd McFarlane Spider-Mans, Amazing Spider-Mans, and Spider-Man issues today that were all near mint condition for like $5 to $10 a piece.
Wow,
Man.
I needed
Lobos
about
do?
half of those too.
Lobos sold. I sold the 3 Lobo issues for $60
each,
and then just for the $60 for the pair for all 3. I mean,
this fucking foreign clown keeps selling me shit and talking me into. He's like, "Hey, I got some Spawn," and of course, I bid on every fucking book he had, and this is what I won. There was some in there that
That's
I
fucking
really wanted.
beautiful.
I'll never see them again. But, you know, I'm happy with what I got.
Nice.
I love that I have a Japanese and a Greek.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Mm-hmm. You
That's
started
really
you
dope.
started your cover set, man.
Yeah, so got those. And I just went to the mailbox today and picked this up. Got that from Easy.
Ooh,
And this is for my buddy that that's the back cover. This is for my my buddy D-Rock in Cali. You guys wouldn't know him, but he actually used to hang out with Elvira quite a bit. He's got, I don't know, 16, 20, 30 of her autographs because they used to hang out together all the time. So my stepson, Creedon, has this friend that he used to talk to on the phone when we were in Colorado all the time, right? And every time he talked on the phone, his buddy who lives in Tucson sounded just like the gingerbread man on Shrek, you know. You're a liar. Give me back my gumdrop buttons. And he sounded like that forever. So I nicknamed him the gingerbread man. I kid you not. I call this kid greatest kid. I love this kid to death. And so I was able.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's cool.
To get one of the clone troopers, and this just came today, the holiday edition. I'm gonna send this off to him. He
That's
also
dope.
just found out that his mom has cancer, so fuck cancer.
Yeah.
So I thought that'd be good for him, you know. Give me back my gumdrop buttons.
That's cool,
But
man.
that's it. Oh, and I got a stack of shit to send to Trial by Gods. I'm slowly but surely almost done with his stack of TMNT I've been collecting for him and cleaning and pressing and getting done.
Nice. All right, Mel, you are up. Where'd he go? He walked away. Look. Yeah, we got an empty chair for
He cleaned. He cleaned.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. While we're waiting for that, I want to.
This is the most 90s. This is the most 90s picture right here. When the 1990s home bought its first Dell, this is where everybody put it.
She was popping out. She was popping outside for a second. She was crazy. All right, so real quick, I finally got my
nice.
I got my Deadpool joint. I didn't think I was gonna get it. The funny thing about this is it's limited to 3,000.
Yeah,
I think. Or whatever.
Yeah. Notorious Mel cover.
And Josh hooks me up. I finally opened this up.
Oh, nice. You finally opened your package.
Right. It says VF. You told me it was near mint, but it's VF. Yep. But I love this cover so much. I'm glad to have any other cover besides the original one, but this cover is just fucking gorgeous, and I had to get it. I had to get it, and I hate doing pickups, but I love Brian, so I did a pickup. That's it.
Hell yeah, brother.
Dude, I missed. Did you guys talk about Black Panther? Did you guys talk about Whatnot?
We did. It got heated. It got a little interesting. So.
What, Black Panther or Whatnot?
Whatnot, the Whatnot stuff, like normal. But we're gonna harness that. We're basically done. We're staying away from that bullshit. We're gonna try and do our best to stay away from it, Mel. It's just so fucking toxic. Dude.
I just want to say,
show us on Mel. Show us on Clayface where Whatnot touched you.
Yeah.
In the wallet. Well, I'm good. I'm good.
Here.
Wow. My sale was great. I'm good. I'm chilling.
One thing that I do want to do real quick is call out for the third time a scammer and a fraud out there. ladies and gentlemen, another scammer and a fraud doing his thing. Imagination Inc. on eBay has put up new fake covers, and people are bidding on them. You guys, people continue to bid on fake covers that he prints and puts the guts into. Every single one of these are fake printed covers, you guys.
Do they still say they're warehouse finds or whatever?
Yes, 100%. These are fake, and he's still getting away with it, and I don't get it. This guy is a complete joke. He does not deserve to be on eBay. Let's take a look. I mean, perfect example. Here we go. Rare Sam Keith Marvel Comics presents Artist Edition variant.
What?
Fake.
Looks like a photocopy.
It is a photocopy, bro. Fake. He puts the guts in there. All
terrible.
Fake. Complete fake fraud. He says variant cover.
Ends in 17 hours.
And people are buying this. Here's what he says here. He says this Marvel Comics Presents 92 Artist Edition variant reproduction cover was not an official Marvel release. That being said, it is incredibly rare and cannot be found elsewhere. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. This is the type of shit that we do need to call out.
Where's the lie though?
It's saying it's incredibly rare and cannot be found elsewhere.
He's the only one that has it.
Yeah,
he's the only one printing it.
Right. I mean, he's not lying.
He's printing it. This is garbage, bro. This is not.
It is. But again, where's the lie?
At least he said it's a reproduction cover.
Right.
Yeah, because his previous sales used to say it was a warehouse find.
Yeah,
like that. So that's where the real problem is. That he's just rephrasing whatever his description is now.
Fake. Look at this. You're so fake, dude. And in the fact that he cuts the guts out of other books and then marries the two to make it look like a real book, that is so disingenuous, man.
Sounds like a lot of work for not much profit.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean? Not much
unfortunately,
profit,
unfortunately, he's
like what are you talking about? Not much profit. How about $710 he's made for this one? Yeah, you think that's crazy? How about this?
We were looking at these other two that were like $10 or $12, and I'm like, why are you even bothering?
If you think
no, it's like he sold books for like thousands. Yeah.
Whoa.
1776 for a fake siege. 253 for all fakes.
He's a color printer and just putting the cover on?
Yes.
Well,
100%.
Look at his name. It's like Imagine Ink something, whatever. What is it?
Imagine, and then so it's Imagine the word, not imagination. It's Imagine and then Nation Inc. He's got 1,200 and he's got over 1,000 feedback, and oh my god, dude.
McClay, if I can snag one of these for like $10 or $12, let's rip it apart.
You don't even have to, Andy. He's already come out. We've contacted him. I've talked to him through Instagram.
Really?
Key Collector called them out after we called them out on one of our shows. Key Collector called them out. Key Collector
called somebody out?
Yeah.
Yeah. He
them
posted
out.
the screenshots between him and Key Collector.
And then I sent Nick our conversations because Nick sent me his conversations with him. This guy literally has the gall to say, this is almost slander by you guys saying this. And you know what? The only way that you guys can really make it up to me is by telling people about how great my original art is and to come get original art from me.
Wow.
This dude he's on another level, man. He's on another level. I don't know what to think. I don't,
Well,
but
can he get sued with copyright infringement?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think.
I guess someone would have to complain to Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Someone would have to complain to Marvel.
That's not much different than like the Klein Black Flag, like Marvel. Like, is anybody going to sue him for that? Yeah.
So it's not good, and I think that's the type of people we do got to call out. So again, I wanted to end the show by saying again to Decor and everybody that watched that original thing, my anger was not at Decor. I respect the hell out of Decor and who he is as a person. It just, his post kind of really made me realize kind of how crazy things have become, and I really wanted to have that conversation and kind of put it in the back burner at the same time. So yeah, appreciate you, Decor, man. Continue doing.
He came on the show. Shots to my man Decor.
No, he wouldn't come on the show. But I understand why. It's because he really. I said come on the show, but he said no. I really I work too much and I spend too much, and my weekend time is for my family, and I respect that. So, but yeah, we had a very interesting conversation, and I still don't think it's gone anywhere, any type of resolution. I think the best bet is just to try and do my best to stay away from the silliness and try not to, deal with it as much anymore. And
you see my post, man. Yo, hustle, show love, and mind business, man.
Yeah, no. It's interesting, man. But I don't want it to show on the content, so that's kind of my thing. But we're gonna still do our thing. I appreciate everybody out there. We will see you guys next week. Thanks for hanging out. Much love to everybody.
Go see Black Panther. Riri was amazing. Shuri was amazing. Queen Ramona, whatever, Angela Bassett was amazing. Yeah. The tribute to T'Challa was amazing. I'm not giving up no spoilers. Everything was fucking just an amazing movie. That time just passed so fast. It was fucking. Namor was amazing. Namora was amazing. She was in it for 2 seconds or whatever. But it was just a fucking phenomenal movie where you would just put. Like, I was waiting for the spec to happen, but fuck that. It was just fucking fantastic.
And that's what I love to hear.
film.
I think that's what we all want to hear. That's
Yeah.
what we all want to hear for sure. So, all right, you guys, make sure to check out all the links in the descriptions. Follow all the co-hosts on the show. We'll see you again next time. Adios.
Still waiting on that heifer, Julio. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. You're cool. You're cool. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.